All right, what's going on, everybody? Who we 186 back again with another podcast, the Overrated Podcast, episode 62. Is it two? Yeah, 62. This is Who we 186. I am your co-host, and my co-host here is Traditionalist 101.
The Traditionalist 101 is here again with Huey 186. Yes, you know how it is. We got to hold on to tradition, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only way society will ever work.
Mm-hmm. All right, we see we have Brian Meadows in the chat. How you doing? How you doing, bro? The gig is up. He knows who you are. So
Man, yeah, he says Biden is done,
no,
but
don't read,
but
don't do
but
that, don't read it, don't read that, don't elaborate. We're gonna this channel. This is gonna get taken down. Don't do it.
oh, okay, all right.
I,
Well,
I'll,
yeah.
I'll, yeah, I'll tell him about that.
Oh,
I'll tell him about that later. But yeah, we can't dive into that area. We can't.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Conspiracy agent, what's good, bro? How you doing?
Conspiracy man, he came early. What's going on, bro?
Oh my god. If I
Oh
if
man.
I if I sound tired, it's probably because I am tired. I've had 30 minutes of sleep over the last, I want to say, 24 hours. So yeah, just had a lot of shit to do this morning, and yeah, really get any proper sleep. So I'm gonna soldier on through, get this podcast over with, and I'm gonna go sleep. So
I
how you?
mean, I mean, you uh, why don't you? Well, do you want to give an explanation why you are so tired and have you gotten to sleep or?
No, not really. This family stuff. Like, it's just family stuff. I just have to take care of business. So
Oh, okay. Well, no, but everything was okay. My weekend wasn't all that great. I had to work. I had to work on Saturday, and while I was at work, I went to. Did I go to the? Yeah, I went to the gym, and after the gym, like everyone else, went to sleep. Then I went to church. After church, I went to the comic book store and got some, and I got some comics. And one of the comics that maybe I think this comic you will probably actually appreciate.
mm-hmm.
Um, I, I cannot believe I'm a huge fan of this franchise, but I never got an opportunity. Well, actually, I had the opportunity. I just didn't know that they had comics for it. But I officially decided to invest more on.
Oh, Tekken. Okay.
I finally got Tekken comic. This is the first one. Then I got another one here,
Okay.
and I have another one here. So I haven't read them yet. I haven't because I just got these, but I'm definitely looking forward to know the full backstory because even the video games they don't tell you the full backstory of these characters.
And the last game, and I love Tekken 7, but that story mode is ass. Awful.
That's funny. And
Awful.
what else did I get? I also have Street Fighter Five.
Mm-hmm.
I have the story, for that Volume Two. I got well, this one I had earlier. I just haven't shared it. But I think Superman,
Mm-hmm.
and two more. These two I know you don't care for, but I care. But I have Alien, and the reason why I decided to get Aliens because I don't know if I ever told you or anybody whenever it when it comes to scary movies or horror movies, Alien was the movie that freaked me out when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care about anything else. I didn't care about Boogeyman. I didn't care about Candyman. I didn't care about Child's Play, Chucky, and I didn't care about any of these other horror movies because they didn't scare me. For some reason, this guy freaked the hell out of me. I always had nightmares, when it comes to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
But Alien was definitely the one where whew, drove me crazy. And I have Batman Beyond. Um, this I always been a huge Batman Beyond fan. He's not Bruce Wayne, but hey, I always been a huge fan of the cartoon.
I like the cartoon too.
Yeah, I always been a huge fan of the cartoon,
Yeah.
and so I decided to what, let me just give it a shot. And so I'm happy with the comic books that I have. I'm definitely looking forward to them. I'm looking forward to. And speaking of Batman, I'm looking forward to the Gotham Knights that's coming out real soon,
Mm-hmm.
and the Presco Protocol. Definitely
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to that. So this is going to be a very interesting holiday. But first
Yeah.
things first, yeah, those are what I have. That was my weekend. How was yours?
Pretty much just worked. I got a chance to play Tunic. Um, I you that Fox game inspired by Zelda.
Yeah, we talked about it in the podcast. Do you have any gameplay footage?
No, no. Yeah,
Oh
but
crap!
yeah, I know. Hey, if Microsoft had a better DVR solution, then I would show it to you. I'll scoundrel up some gameplay eventually. So I'm not too far into it. So I don't really have much to say there. And
Tell us, explain or give us like at least a little piece of the experience that you got so far. Like how you feel about it. Like, do you know the story?
I have no
Like,
idea what the story is about. Like everything is in like a language that is new. It's something that I've never seen before. It's a unique
hmm?
language to them. So I don't know what the story is about currently. All I know is that I started out with a stick to use to defend myself.
That's
That's
it?
yeah, a stick at first, and
Okay.
it was a pain in the ass. Then I got a sword. It's a lot easier. Naturally, it's a lot easier with the sword. It
But
gives
you
you
know what? Oh yeah, yeah. I have the footage right here. Let me play it real quick while you're explaining.
yeah,
Because I think I want because I'm pretty sure Ryan Meadows probably don't know who what game that is. But yeah, I'm sharing it right now.
yeah. So
Go ahead.
yeah, so yeah, I have about a couple of hours in it.
And
The only thing I haven't gotten the shield yet. That's the thing. I need to get the
this
shield.
is what you was talking about before about the sword,
Mm-hmm.
and you see how he has the shield,
Yeah, I haven't gotten
dude.
that yet.
Yeah, dude, immediately you could tell, and look, and with his clothing,
Yeah,
with his green and and the lamp, all this is from Zelda. Clearly, all this was a Zelda imitation, but I had to get that out. Go ahead.
and the thing is that when you roll, it takes up stamina. So you have to be careful with that. It takes up stamina.
Hmm.
So
Now, does the graphics looks exactly like this? Is it a beautiful game?
oh yeah,
And
it's a gorgeous game. Love the art style.
okay,
Love
okay.
the art.
Did you buy it or you just be playing it for free?
Game Pass.
Okay, so you didn't you're not so you're not going to buy it.
I got it on Game Pass. What I need to
I,
buy it for?
I mean, look, I was on the assumption that you were going to be in the same position as me, where you would actually buy the games instead of just going on Game Pass. But whatever.
I mean, if the option's there, the option's there. Like that's just how it is.
Well, then you're part of the problem, like everybody else. If you're just going to support Game Pass, then I mean, it just hurts all the other game developers and gaming
Steve,
companies.
Steve, I bought the Xbox for one reason because it was there and I can use Game Pass. That's why I bought That's why I bought the white Xbox. I don't need. I don't. I'm like I said. I ain't buying no more games on Xbox. If I'm able to buy it, I mean, if I'm able to access it on Game Pass, if they give me
Hmm.
the option, then I'm gonna use it.
Hmm.
Yeah, that simple.
Hmm. Okay. The one thing that maybe you were like this back in the day, but usually I would never ever show any type of respect for imitators.
Hmm.
I never really showed respect for copycats. So when I saw this, for some reason, I just thought that, you know what, even though it seems to be like a Zelda clone,
Hmm.
there was just something weird and special about the game when I was watching the trailers for it and the gameplay for it. I said, you know what, it copied one of the greatest franchises of all time, and as long as the execution is still good, if if the story is still good, then I'm able to give it a chance, despite the fact that it is a copy to me, a complete copy. And if people want to, but look, but here's this though. If somebody, if people want to say, especially Zelda fans, say, "Oh, this is just a ripoff," hey, they have every they have every right to say that, and I don't blame them for saying it.
I mean the game. I think the game's out on Switch as well. So I mean, they can try it out. Like not just because it might be a copy doesn't mean that it's a bad game.
Yeah,
So
agreed, agreed. So for now, you're satisfied with the game.
yeah, and frankly, the game starts out similar to Link to the Past. Like you wake up and you just start doing shit. Like that's pretty much
Are you for real?
yeah. I mean, you don't start off in the house, but like you just wake up and start doing stuff. Like you
Hmm.
said.
Wait, are you sure it's for the Switch? It doesn't say it's for the Switch here.
No, this is the Xbox. This is launch trailer. It launched first on Xbox, and then now it's gonna be on PlayStation, and I believe it's gonna be on Switch as well.
Okay, okay.
So yeah,
All right. Well, since you're satisfied, with the game so far, I'm definitely gonna give the game a try once it's out for the Switch.
yeah, yeah. So all right. So before we get started, obviously we normally like to talk about how our teams did. My team played on Thursday. We'll get into that in a little bit, but your team won, so
Mm-hmm. Both of them won, but I really want to talk about Green Bay first, real quick, because I have posted this on Twitter. I don't know if you saw my post on Twitter,
mm-hmm.
where I basically criticized them because they went in overtime against a third string quarterback. I don't know how that's even possible. A third string quarterback, and you guys should have been ripping their heads off. Once that happened, I don't. Something is really weird. Something is really something is going on with the Green Bay Packers, man, because they have been very lucky with some of their games so far. I don't know if they are going to be a Super Bowl contending team, which
I
is
don't.
very.
I personally, I don't think they are.
Oh, you don't think so either.
No,
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah,
think so.
yeah, and Aaron Rodgers doesn't really seem to look the same ever since they got rid of what's that wide receiver
Devontae
Adams.
Adams. Yeah.
Adams, yeah. Ever since he left, uh, Rodgers hasn't necessarily have been the same.
Well, in fairness to him, the guys he had there right now are not good. They're nowhere near as good as Devontae Adams, and they've never had great skill guys in that position. That's one of the many frustrations that Aaron Rodgers has had, that they can't seem to attract big time, like major wide receiver talent over there. But it is
Yeah,
what it is.
I think the weather is partially responsible.
Yeah, that could be
People
it.
people probably people probably don't want to go go up there because of the weather.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
like I said, they play outside. They don't play in the dome, so it is what it is. But they won, so it's not a big deal.
but yeah, but you see the difference between how he losing Adams and Mahomes losing Tyreek Hill, and yet they're still dominating the league.
Oh yeah, but Kansas City had better skill guys. They still have Kelsey. They
Yeah,
still
that's true.
have I know there's another wide receiver they have that's really good. So they have skill guys, but you can tell that Tyreek Hill is a special athlete.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
I'll take him over Adams in a heartbeat.
yeah, I would too because he's like Adams is a great wide receiver, but like Tyreek Hill has like he has elite speed, and he's a much better wide receiver than I give him credit. I really only thought he was like a speed guy, but he can go deep if he needs to. Like he fights for the ball. Like I'm thoroughly impressed with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, and I heard that the Dolphins, when it comes to Tyreek Hill and Waddle, I heard like they're the top five fastest guys in the whole league. You guys got both of them.
Yep, that's what makes the offense special. But we'll get into that a little bit later. You want to talk about your stupid Jets winning?
Like, what do you mean that you stupid just winning? We're 2-2. We're obviously 500 right now.
And we
But
play
am I?
y'all next.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, you play us next week. But
Mhm.
am I really impressed with the win? Uh, not really. To me, although when I was watching the highlights, it did seem very entertaining to watch. They're, the Steelers, they're not a good of a team,
No,
and then we were struggling with them. That's pretty much show how garbage the Jets really are. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get manhandled against the Dolphins. And I don't want to watch the game, but I'm
not with
just gonna
not
I'm
without
gonna
not without not without. I'm worried about that game because I don't fully trust Bridgewater. But
I mean,
I
he
know we'll
has
see.
talent. I mean, he's a talented QB.
No, he's fine, but he's not Tua.
He has a better arm than Tua.
I don't know if I go that far.
Yeah, he has a much better arm than Tua. Yeah, he
I
he
would
he he could throw deep. That dude could throw deep.
uh you trust me. Only one of us has watched Dolphins games. Tua is a much better quarterback than Bridgewater.
I didn't say Bridgewater was better. I just said he has a much stronger arm than Tua does.
I I would argue that too. I would argue that too. But regardless of that, since he's on the topic, we might as well talk about what happened with Tua on Thursday, right?
Hmm.
So I'm not gonna show the play or the picture because I when I was watching it live, right? Once I knew he went down, I was like, damn man, like he went down, and then I didn't think nothing of it, and then you see when he's like when he's like on his back, you see his fingers are like all over the place, right? Like, and I thought he broke his fingers,
Hmm.
but it didn't make no sense because he fell on the back of his head. And then what happened was apparently he got a very very bad concussion. He essentially got knocked out, right? And sometimes, and I've seen this with MMA fighters and boxers. When guys get knocked, some guys when they get knocked out stilly, they go stiff.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah, yeah. So that's probably what happened to him. And right when I saw that happen, and when he got stretched out, I knew exactly the backlash that was going to come from it. I knew once that happened because he had to play in the Buffalo game, which is 4 days prior, where he bumped his head. Right, he bumped his head after he got pushed, and he tried to get up, but he wobbled and he fell to the ground, and they had to help him out off the field. Everyone who's seen who've seen like football or watch boxing or watch whatever. Your camera's out, by the way.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, like you can tell that there was that you can easily assume that that was a concussion, right?
Hmm.
Now he apparently he was tested for it by independent doctor who actually got fired a couple days later. We'll get to that a little bit, but he got tested. He apparently cleared protocol, and he came back into the game and helped them win the game against Buffalo. Right. Then obviously 4 days later he come back and then he has this injury. So obviously the sports world exploded. Everyone saying the Dolphins lied, this and that, and all this other stuff. And my thing, the first, and I before I get to my opinion, my experience watching it, that was the first time I had this feeling. Like, look, I've been watching football for a long time. Like, I've seen bad injuries and stuff like that. But that was the first time I watched an injury, and I'm like, man, I don't feel like playing. I don't feel like watching this game anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know if it could be because I'm much more of a Tua defender. I don't know if it's I'm a Dolphins fan, but I didn't feel like watching that game anymore after I still did, but like I was so like I was so upset. I was so pissed off about what had happened because I don't know, man. Like, yeah, 'cause I knew that there was gonna be a bunch of shit that was about to hit the fan because of it.
Well,
So,
I well the thing that I was really confused about, I really want to share my I really want to share my retweet.
mm-hmm,
Okay, right here. Um, okay, so there's this guy I decided to retweet because he decided to record on his phone,
mm-hmm.
and the one against Buffalo, like you said, he came back, and when he stumbled, I had to pause it right here real quick.
I think we're
Uh,
gonna get copyrighted, but whatever.
you think so?
Yeah,
Even though it's recorded on the phone?
it had the CBS logo on it. Yeah,
Oh shoot. Okay. All right. Um, when
sorry,
he
sorry, continue.
when he was stumbling, right? Like this, and he fell onto the ground. Some people were saying, "Oh, it was a back injury." Now,
Let me address that real quick. Let me address that real quick. Now, I can't speak for that hit, but there was a play in the first quarter when they were in the near the red zone where they did a quarterback sneak. They didn't make it, and what happened was he did wrench his back afterwards, so his back was hurting. Now, I'm not gonna sit there and act like, oh, this is because of his back. Like, I'm not like to me this looked like a head injury, but
hmm
his back was hurting. His back was hurting. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit there and act like this was like this was because of his back, but his back was hurting.
okay, but even if that's the case, though,
Hmm.
after this hit that he got, after this hit, he didn't touch his back or anything.
Yeah.
He didn't touch his back. All he did was stumble, and then he started holding his head. This is not a back injury, and the reason why I wanted to bring this up and show this, real quick, is because I really hate to say this, but I think they initially said that it was a back injury to use as a scapegoat. That's what I think.
Well, here's the thing. He passed concussion protocol. He passed protocol, and the doctor cleared him. The independent doctor cleared him. Now that really doesn't mean much. Like at the end of the day, like this guy got fired. Let me see if I can find the article
Yeah, go
of
ahead.
the doctor getting fired. He got fired, but like to me, it's just like for one, here's my overall thoughts. Right, personally, I don't think he should have played. Obviously, he shouldn't play. He should not.
Well, hold on. Or you know what? I have a question, but finish what you was gonna say.
I don't think he should have played. Right. I think that as a Dolphins team, you were undefeated at the time. Bridgewater is a decent quarterback. Like you can win without him. You can win without him. Like even if he was cleared, they should not have played him. Okay, I found the article.
Okay.
All right, so I'll share it and then I'll read a little bit of it because this was big time news because it was the only game on TV and everyone obviously was watching it. You know what I mean? It was a big matchup and everyone watched. And let me put this on because there's something else I do want to show as well.
Okay.
All right, so okay, all right. Doctor who evaluated Dolphins Tua Tagovailoa has been fired. Right. Doctor involved in clearing Tua Tagovailoa after the Dolphins' September 25th game against the Buffalo Bills has been fired. League source confirmed the People. ESPN and NFL Network first reported that the Players Association has fired the doctor, an unaffiliated neurotrauma consultant, after they were found to have made several mistakes in their evaluation of Tagovailoa. On Monday, the league confirmed to People that the NFLPA exercised its right to fire the doctor. The
Mm.
Dolphin quarterback had left the game after hit the back of his head on the ground and noticeably stumbling on the field. He was cleared to return to the game after passing his evaluation, and the team stated that he had a back injury rather than a head injury. 5 days later, Tua started in the Dolphins' Thursday night game against the Cincinnati Bengals and was sacked in the second quarter, again hitting his head on the ground. The quarterback was spotted holding up his hands with his fingers frozen in place, while Dr. Ann McKee, a neurophysiological, I'm not going to pronounce it. Nora whatever.
Nah, skip.
All right.
Next.
Tells People it's a clear sign of a brain injury with brainstem dysfunction. NFL and Players Union issued a statement on Saturday that said Tua's return on Sunday's game is being reviewed. The organization also said that they are reviewing their concussion protocol. The NFL and NFLPA agreed that the NFLPA's Mickey White Health and Safety Committee and the NFL's Head and Neck Spine Committee have already begun conversations around the use of the term gloss motor instability, and we anticipate changes to the protocol being made in the coming days based on what has been learned thus far in the review process. The statement said both the NFLPA and NFL individually have the right to fire an unaffiliated neurotrauma consultant without agreement from the other organization ESPN shared. Tagovailoa was first listed by the Dolphins as questionable to return with a head injury on September 25th, but the team later said that the back injury caused him to sway and he returned. In the second quarter of the Bengal game, just days later, the sack by Josh Tapau saw medical professionals rush on the field as he was motionless for about 10 minutes afterwards. So, and this is Tua's tweet, a couple of days later saying that he's okay. You can see it right here. I want to thank everyone for all their prayers and support since the game last night. It was difficult to not be able to finish the game and be there with my teammates, but I am grateful for the support and care I've received from the Dolphins, my friends and family, and all the people who have reached out. I'm feeling much better and focused on recovering so I can get back on the field with my teammates. So there you have it. You have anything else to say before I continue?
No, you could continue because I do have three more stuff with two more things, but yeah, you could continue.
Okay. So to me, I don't think he should have played. I think you had the wiggle room to 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 at least give Bridgewater a chance, right? Now, like I said before, I don't know. I don't know all the answers. Could the Dolphins have messed up here? Absolutely. I'm not trying to defend the Dolphins. The thing is that I just don't know what what happened because look, Tua, despite the injury, he was let out of the hospital and traveled back with the team. that
Hmm.
same night, right? He's done MRIs. They've already said that he's not playing this week against the Jets. So he's not playing. Even though the MRI is saying that he's clean and everything like that. But he's not playing. Right? And look, I'm like I said, I don't know what happened. I don't know if the Dolphins are lying or nothing like that. But the one thing that annoyed me is this right here. Let me go to it right here. Stephen A. Smith. Now, here's the thing. This is when he's at his worst. Where he starts when he feels like he needs to be Mr. Outrage. He needs to outrage everybody,
Hmm.
right? This is when he's at his worst.
Oh, okay.
Let's play this clip. Let me see if I have it at the right spot.
Be damned if I'm not going to
Can
express
you
my
hear it?
thoughts on this Adam Schefter. Thank
Yeah,
you,
but it's like
Molly.
I hear like reverb, like it's
You do?
Somebody.
yeah.
Yeah. Let me see.
I'm actually surprised that you were really so you were annoyed of what Stephen A had to say.
Yeah. I was, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna point to the exact reason why. I don't know if I can get rid of the reverb, but it can.
Need to be fired.
Okay,
Now I don't know who.
okay.
Can you cancel the what you call it on your settings?
Let me see. Audio. Um. Yeah. Echo canceling. That's check marked.
Okay, so you're good.
Yeah. So let me see. I don't. I yeah. I don't know what I can do. Let me see. Let me see if this works.
I'm not going to express my thoughts on this
Yeah,
Adam
much better.
Schefter.
What'd you do?
Very
I
much.
just
Let me take
muted.
it
I
from
just
here,
muted.
Molly.
I just muted the.
Somebody needs
I just muted
to
something.
go.
Oh, okay.
You make the determination, not me,
Okay.
about whether there were signs of gross motor instability when Tua was walking off that field on Sunday to be examined
Well,
at halftime.
Well, I deeply appreciate you passing that baton to
Right,
me
so
because
he's gonna
I'll
start
be damned if I'm not
throwing
going to
his
express my
own
thoughts on
fucking
this Adam
diarrhea.
Schefter. Thank you very much. Let me take it from here, Molly. Somebody need to be fired. Now, I don't know who,
All right.
but somebody got.
Okay. You don't know who? You're calling wait, you're calling people to get fired, but you don't know who? This is the type of shit that he thrives off of. Just getting upset and then just speaking out of turn without knowing any fucking idea what's going on. Let me continue.
At the very least, a suspension. Now, I don't know if it was the doctors and the trainers that examined him at halftime of the Buffalo game, put him back in. I don't know if it's additional medical personnel that were involved that gave the okay for him to be on the field last night.
Notice the keywords I don't know. But I'm gonna have a strong opinion on it, but I don't know.
Okay.
But listen to what folks have been saying since last night transpired with Tua. They say you had a concussion, then obviously it's easier to get another one. Within a span of 4 to 5 days, I don't care what anybody.
Okay, span of 45 days. Keep that in mind as we continue on. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear anything about a back. I didn't see him hold his back. I didn't see him put his arms on his back. Not one time Sunday. I saw him get up. I saw that growth.
I saw him grab his back in the game. So clearly he didn't watch it. So it's fine.
Mobile.
Well, but
No. He's right about the stumble, but his back was hurting in that game.
okay.
Damn near collapsed right back down. I'm looking at Mike McDaniels, the coach. I'm wondering, what the hell are you thinking? Now, some people will say, hey, you're the coach. If the medical staff gives you the okay to play a player, then you go ahead and you play the player. But you're a human being. You got two eyes. You know what you saw out there. What about that? I'm looking at the NFLPA. Get your investigation going. Keep pushing. The NFL do the same thing. Find out what the hell went on. And guess who else I'm holding accountable to some degree? His teammates.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Because here's the thing, right?
Okay.
Those guys out there, they're paying, they're playing for a paycheck. right? Don't sit there and blame. They love. You saw what happened when he went down. They all love that dude. If they're not fucking doctors. If they say that he can play, he can play. Should there? You should never let the player dictate if they're healthy or not. There should always be an evaluation and stuff like that. So if you want to sit there and blame the Dolphins for that, that's fine. Don't fucking blame the players. They're out there trying to they're out there playing. And you have a lot of guys out there who deal with all these brain injuries, all these leg injuries, all these fucking injuries that they deal with, right? And you think he's gonna sit there and be like, oh my god, he's gonna hold people accountable? No, fuck no. It's unfortunate it happened to the court, and we all know the quarterback gets the lion's share of the attention, right? Well, you're gonna sit there and blame the teammates. What can they do? What can they do? Because at the end of the day, they want to win. Cause why? Because everything involving their livelihood revolves around winning. All the sacrifices that they make revolve around winning. So what is this piece of shit doing blaming the players?
Well, here's the thing. I did want to say something, a little earlier. He mentioned, the players, because let's not act like as if the players. I think this is what he's trying to say. I could be wrong, but let's not act like as if the players had no idea what was going on with Tua when he was stumbling. They knew what was going on. Like they have common sense too. I know they're all, into the game, and they're all hyped up, into the game, trying to win and whatnot. But they saw what we saw.
But
They saw that.
you
They
have
saw
to
that he would.
understand the mentality of these guys. If you can play, you can play. If you can be out there, you be out there. And everybody knows that everyone and his teammates know that this guy trying to play games. Like, look, last year he was held out of 1.5 games because of a fucking finger injury with a coach that probably didn't like him. So he's trying to go out there. He's trying to play. He's trying to prove something. Like a lot of these guys are. Again, the responsibility of the health of the player is dependent on the organization, not the players. Because once they get hurt, guess what? And outside of the quarterback and a couple of key guys, if you get hurt, you're expendable in that league. You're expendable. There's a reason why the average career of an NFL player is 3 years. Because the best ability for these NFL teams is availability.
So what you're basically saying is that there was absolutely, because it's such a, mental, type of sport. There's a adrenaline rush, all the other stuff, all the hype, the crowd and everything else. What you're saying is they really couldn't, comprehend what was going on with Tuna at that particular time.
No,
Is that what you're saying?
I'm sure they I was look, they know that he's hurt. They know that he's banged up. But if they're cleared to play, then he's cleared to play. And I guarantee you Tua wanted to play. Trust me, if Tua didn't want to play, he would not have played.
Hmm.
And guess what? Those guys know that too. So I guarantee the only reason why he said this was to go viral. That's it. That's it. That's all. It's him. It's Skip Bayless. To an extent, Colin Cowherd. All these guys, the old media guys, they just say shit just to go viral. I heard this is not related, but I heard Skip Bayless say that Patrick Mahomes is the worst thrower of the football he's ever seen.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Is that the opinion of someone you want to take seriously?
I need to hear that. I cannot believe he would actually say something like that.
Dog shit, man. Hold on, let me finish this.
Yeah.
I want to go to Bart when I say this because I know Bart is on the set sitting right next to you, Molly.
And that fucking idiot Bart Starr, he said something stupid too. I wanted to address.
Okay.
Out on that field, wearing the same. I'm glad I just saw Swaggo. I didn't see you for a second, Swaggo. I see you now. Thank you. Welcome to the show. I'm going to defer to the both of y'all. when we talk about the players in this regard. You put on the same helmets, same shoulder pads. Knee pads might be a little different depending on the player, whatever. You out on that football field, you're taking hits. You understand better than most, better than almost any of us, what comes with the game. When you saw him get up and then damn near collapse against the Buffalo Bills on Sunday, okay? What about you stepping in and saying, yo, bro, you need to get up out of here. You don't need to be on this field right now. I forgot the brother that was on the NFL show last night that brought up how one of his teammates, he had been concussed, and he tried to go out there, and the Whitworth, right? And he said, hey, Andrew Whitworth, and he said, hey, one of my teammates came up to me and said, no, he went up to the coach and he can't go back in there. So we've been bragging about, if you Tyreek Hill and the others, you're bragging about Tua and what he going to bring to the table. You're bragging about the accuracy. And I'm not saying anything was intentional on the part of the players. I don't know.
Then why the fuck bring it up then? If you're saying, oh, it's not intentional, why the fuck are you bringing it up then?
When he says intentional, I thought he was talking about the what happened, with the other team. I thought, wait. So maybe I misunderstood what he meant by intentional. Then maybe I misunderstood.
All right, hold on. Let me rewind back a little bit.
The Whitworth, right? And he said, hey, Andrew Whitworth, and he said, hey, one of my teammates came up to me and said, no, he went up to the coach and he can't go back in there. So we've been bragging about, if you Tyreek Hill and the others, you're bragging about Tua and what he's going to bring to the table. You're bragging about the accuracy. And I'm not saying anything was intentional on the part.
Okay.
Yeah. Why the fuck do you bring it up? You if you want to talk about the doctors, fine. Right? They're the most culpable. You want to bring up the coaches to an extent, that's fine. Even though I don't think they really have much control over that either. They're not doctors. But then you bring up the fucking players. What could they do? Because they're all in the same situation as Tua. One hit and they're out. They're done. These guys, their contracts are not guaranteed. So what are they supposed to do? Tell him, oh, Tua, don't go in. It's not their place. It's not their job.
Well, but we all know. Let's be fair though. We all know when it comes to players, especially the elite players, whether it's football, basketball, or whatnot, the coaches, the coaching staff do allow them to have somewhat of a say to where the coach will actually listen to them, even though they're not in
It
high
should be
authority.
up to the coaches, the doctors, the organization. That's on them to tell them, oh, this guy can't play, or whatever. Right? It's up to them. It's up to them. It's not up to the players. And to put them in the same and even though he said that, oh, I'm not putting them on the same level, but the fact is you mentioned them on your show, that gets a lot of hits, that gets a lot of attention. And you put them in the same sentence as the other people when they have no culpability in this. They have no culpability in this.
I don't mean that way. I'm not trying to imply that any player doesn't care about
Shut the
Tua.
fuck
That's
up.
not where I'm going.
Shut the
I'm
fuck up.
talking about the knowledge that you have about the game since you are a participant.
Can you put the volume up a bit more?
Let me see. I think this is the highest it can go. I apologize.
Okay.
At Miami against Buffalo in the first half, you're perfectly okay with Tua coming out there in the second half, and then you got him on the field in less than 5 days for another NFL game. No one is safe here. Somebody needs to be suspended at the minimum, possibly fired, and everybody as an organization within the Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
As I'm concerned.
I remember seeing this little clip.
Mm-hmm.
He is pretty much blaming nearly everybody. He's blaming
Yeah,
the coaching
yeah,
staff.
but
He's blaming the doctor, and he's blaming the players. He's blaming everyone.
why? Because he wants clicks. That's why. Because he wants clicks. Because he wants to sit there when he gets into this mode where he has to be Mr. Angry Guy. He has to be that's what he does. That's what he does. And a lot of these guys do the same shit.
To get out on that field after you saw what happened this past Sunday. Floor is yours.
I mean, we all take a hair risk, right? We
You
know
were
what
upset with him too?
know that the
We'll
good
see.
quarterback that
He
you
might have said
understand
something
could
stupid if I
cause
remember.
head
Okay.
trauma and potentially maybe death. We all take that a hair risk. But in the NFL, we have this thing that you call soft pressure. Nobody's going to directly say something to you. They may go around the facility and say, "Hey, man, come on, man, you tough, right?" Or, "Hey, man, you good, right?" And that's soft pressure. Now, understand where
All right.
Tua's
Pure speculation. Like, had no idea if this is the case with Tua. But just pure
coming from.
speculation.
He's a young player that has been scrutinized and really wasn't the quarterback that of choice of the last regime. This regime came and gave him a clean slate. Everybody hands is dirty, including Tua. Tua is taking this inherent risk because he understands that he's eligible for a bag at the end of the season. And he understands that the knock on him is that he can't stay healthy. But sometimes you have to protect the player from himself. And what happens is, like
Well,
yesterday,
see, having a,
I agree.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I agree with that too. That's why. That's why. If you want to blame the organization, I have no problem with that, because you do have to protect the player from themselves from time to time. Because guys like he said, guys want to go out there. They want to get paid. They want to get paid, and guys want to play.
NFL, the future of the NFL at risk. Because every parent sitting with their child was watching that game, saw what happened to Tua Tugovailoa, and said, "Why would I subject my?"
Okay, this is the part that he said that's stupid about the parents subjecting yourself to football.
Okay.
Do anybody seriously believe that football is a safe sport?
No.
What's different from what happened to Tua, which was awful, to what happened to Joe Theismann, what happened to Alex Smith, what happened to Dak Prescott? Like what the fuck is he talking about? This sport is dangerous. Period. And the thing that none of these people on that show mentioned, and also the other person I want to call out is Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman, right?
Oh snap.
And hold on, let me see if I can find this, because why can you read the chat while I search for this?
Yeah. So let's see. Mishimi Mador, hello, how are you? How you doing, Princess? Ed Gonzalez, I'm 73. He said, "Yo, let's get it." And then he says, "Oh, nah, I'm out." But I understand why you don't really like the sports, but don't worry. We're gonna talk about gaming at the end, and once we do, you would definitely more than welcome to join in. Okay, now my brother says, McKinley, shout out to you. Thank you for joining. He says, well, the coach should be part of the blame. Why? You put Tua back in, and then you have a game 4 days afterwards. I would have sat him out for the Bengals game and possibly the Jets game just to be safe. You have a problem with that?
What? Oh no, I'll get to it. He mentioned something important there. Let me see. I'm still trying to find it.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, while you're trying to find it, the thing that I always was confused about, where everyone is talking about, oh, it's the organization, or who should be fired, and this and that, this and that. To me, I don't necessarily, I don't think it's right or fair to necessarily blame the whole entire organization, or the coach, because if you have a third party, so a medical staff and who's a third party says that Tua is perfectly fine to play, that he's in good condition to play. Well, what do you expect the whole entire coaching staff to do with that information,
Exactly.
with that knowledge? What are they supposed to just defy what the doctor had said? Are they just going to ignore? Oh, you know what? You say that he's okay to play, but my gut feeling says that no, he's not ready to play. I mean,
Yeah.
is that what fans want to hear when a coaching staff is getting information from his doctor? I could understand if this was the doctor in the organization, because from what I've heard, a lot of these doctors, a lot of these therapists, they kind of get a lot of pressure from from
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
organization.
I'm 100%. I'm sure that happened before. One hundred
Oh, okay,
percent.
you heard about that too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
all the time. I've heard stories about that all the time. But
yeah,
okay, so Richard Sherman. Now I don't know what you said on the Tua injury, and I don't give a shit. But this is my main problem right here. Richard Sherman has gone from hating Thursday night football to working for it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember he made a comment about how Thursday night football is immoral and all this other stuff. And now he's
Yeah.
working for the same entity that he said was terrible. And and to me, that's my biggest problem right there. Right? You have got, and McKinley mentioned this here. You have a sport that is inherently dangerous. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going, and also noted that the NFL went through hoops to try to quote protect themselves from concussions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they had a lawsuit regarding concussions. That's why they went all in on trying to on player safety for concussions. To the point where if you play Madden right now, it is impossible to get a concussion in Madden. Why? Because they told EA to take it out of the game.
Oh wait. The NFL told
Mm-hmm.
EA to take it out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh snap!
So
Wow.
you're not even allowed to get a concussion in Madden. The old school Maddens, every injury was there. You had a stretcher, all that stuff. Now you don't have concussion and you don't have a stretcher.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because the NFL is trying to feed us this notion that the sport is safer than it's ever been. But it's an oxymoron. There's no way you can make a sport that dangerous safe. You can make it safer, but you can't make it safe. And all your fucking propaganda ain't gonna help either. And you know what else doesn't help? Having these guys play on Sunday and then turn around and play on Thursday. It does, and not Stephen A, not Bar Scott, not Swagoo, whatever the fuck his name is, and none of the people on the Thursday night show said that either. That you have these guys who come who play a dangerous fucking sport, right? And they have to play 4 days later on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then also, hey, since the NFL is so safe now, we'll add an extra game. Fuck it, we'll add an extra game. That will help with safety. Oh, let's take two teams and fly them off to fucking London and fly them to fucking Germany to play a game. It's such horseshit.
We already know why they're doing that. They're
Oh, the
trying to
money.
widespread. Yeah.
Yeah, money. It's all about the money, right? Again, if the Dolphins were culpable in that, then they deserve punishment. But don't fucking sit here on your fucking higher horse and say like, oh, it's a bad look for the league, or be like, oh, it's something that the league should look into. Why don't you look into all that fucking money Amazon paid you to have your games on Thursday? How about that? Adding an extra fucking game, like as if it helps make the sport safer. Bunch of fucking hogwash.
I mean, when you see all the stuff that you basically just minute, it actually makes a lot of sense now. I mean, I completely forgot about the London or Germany game where they had to travel overseas just to play one freaking game. And adding an extra game and having Thursday night games. I think everybody had already had passed the Thursday night game now. Like it gotten so accustomed to it that I haven't really heard many players complain about it anymore. And people also say well, it's somewhat off a benefit because it's almost as if you have two bye weeks by playing a Thursday.
That's the only positive. That's the only positive, is that you get extra days to rest.
Yeah.
That's the only positive. But the fact is, you still have to play a game, and especially if you're a team that's traveling, you get really barely any time to practice. You get barely any time to recover. But what they want is, all these guys want to sit there and get upset over the Dolphins over the Dolphins playing Tua. Well, why the fuck is anybody playing on Thursday? How is anybody supposed to recover from playing games on Thursdays after playing on Sunday? And this idea that because we do all this shit when it comes to safety, that the games are automatically gonna be safe. And I'll tell you this right now. If there was ever a sport that I could have been at least decent at, it was football. It was football. But why did I not want to play football? Because the sport's too fucking dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It's too dangerous. Dude, I sprained my finger playing flag football. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, the sport is dangerous.
Oh man, that was funny.
Like, at the end of the day, the sport is fucking dangerous. Like, and it's like they're sitting there trying to rank on the Dolphins for being unsafe in a sport that's not safe. Again, if they were culpable in their negligence on Tua, then they deserve punishment. Absolutely. But don't fucking sit here and tell me. And Bart Scott saying, "Oh, it's a detriment to the league to have that look." I'm like, yo, what about all the other guys who break their backs? Who you have guys you have guys who retire because of head injuries. You have guys who retire and they have all these physical ailments. You have guys like Junior Seau who retires and then ends up blowing his brains out.
Yeah, that was a tragedy, man. Huge
Yeah.
tragedy. Yeah.
The sport is dangerous. It is what it is. It is what it is.
And I do remember how people were saying, I forgot who this person was, but he also pretty much took his life because he basically said he didn't have any peace because he was constantly getting all these crazy, outrageous migraines and headaches, where it felt like it was just torture, to live. Like he couldn't enjoy life. He couldn't function, and he forgot where he would forget where he is. He forget where his house is. He would forget who his friends are because of all the damage that he received from the sport. And then so he ended up taking his own life. Man, I forgot who that was, but I could completely understand where you're coming from when it comes to all this head trauma stuff. But again, I don't know if I could fully blame the organization for listening to a third party doctor
I don't blame them either. To me, I wish that they would just sat him out just for precaution. If his and like I said, his back was really hurting him. So if he's not 100%, I would have just started Bridgewater from the jump.
But when they were testing him on Sunday,
mm-hmm.
did he complain anything about his back afterwards?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He complained about it.
Well, you know what then? I'm not going to blame the organization still, but now I have a side eye, or I have one eyebrow, up in the air because wait a minute, if you worried that the guy had a concussion,
Mm-hmm.
and this same guy is also now complaining about his back, so you have a concussion issue and a back issue,
and his ankle was bad too.
and an ankle issue. Oh, see, I didn't even know about that. I didn't even know about the ankle issue. When did this the whole ankle issue happen? Tell me.
I think the ankle stuff has been probably like a couple weeks, but it's okay. They can you can just play them on Thursday and then fly them to London, fly them to Germany, fly them to Mexico. It's cool. Like, it's fine. Like, these guys are nothing but robots. So
yeah. Oh, I guess you got something from Skip.
yeah, let me see if I can find him. Stupid comment. Since you asked, I'm gonna.
He's the number 2 receiver for Tom Brady, so I don't know exactly who else is going to play, but that's actually
Mike Evans is going to play.
Okay, well, he will play for sure because he was only suspended. He wasn't hurt. Right. But the other bad news was Russell Gage, who had to split out and play. Does that mean he'll try to go? I don't know. And then speaking of left tackle, Donovan Smith tried to go yesterday. He was quote unquote limited with his hyperextended elbow. You've talked about elbows before. Once you get it, it's just a with that.
I hate hearing this guy's voice.
I mean, you really hate hearing. Man, you despise Skip Bayless for sure, man. You despise that dude.
Nothing but a slot receiver who can only run straight line fast,
Right.
and can't run routes, and Brady has no trust whatsoever in him. And I'm here to tell you that down the line this season, the way things are going, if they start to get healthier and healthier at receiver,
Roger, the 14, that's pretty damn good. You held the Cowboys to 3. You held the Saints to 13.
three for the Cowboys, thanks to
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
yeah. Does he have Juju? You like Juju?
Stop it,
You told me the other day Juju's pretty good. Emmanuel Sanders wide open for a deep touchdown.
Where the fuck is this coming at, man?
That's what you so
What do you think? I'm not in the Hall of Fame.
I'm asking you. Is he the GOAT or is he not?
Well, you know he's the GOAT
Okay.
because everybody knows he's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. So
Okay.
explain the 3 touchdowns regardless of the level of competition.
Micah and company, they might be the best defense in pro football.
If
And then
Micah
the
the
Saints say they're garbage.
Hey, they're barely.
I can't find it. I can't listen to this shit.
All right,
16th in points allowed.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the middle of they're 9.
yeah. Okay, now this is what I wanted to because let me see if it's here.
The Colts had one.
Yeah, I got rid of it. Yeah, I'll wait for you. All right, so you read this.
No, I didn't really. I wanted to give you a chance to respond, but okay. See, this is what I was talking about right here, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you could see it,
I see.
but okay. So he pushes him. 58 pushes him. You could clearly see that he hit his head.
Yeah.
You
But
could
he also
clearly-
hit his back too.
that's
He also hit his back.
yeah, that's fine. I mean,
But
of course,
the ricochet, that's bad.
yeah. So you see him hit his head. He starts, tumbling, and he couldn't walk straight, obviously. So now, mentioning the back, regardless if this was doing the testing when they were testing, his head, making sure that he passed, the concussion exam, whatever they call it. And when you are aware that he also have a back issue, now I'm starting to look at the NFL. Okay, at the organization and say, okay, I think you have a problem, dude. I think you have a problem. I'm starting to think that now, because I completely forgot about the back. I'm starting to think that now, even if the third party had said, "Yo, he's okay to play," uh, maybe I'm not gonna fully blame them yet, but maybe, just maybe, I think they probably should have set him out. And I want to see this live. Hang on a second. I want this is the question I wanted to ask you. Oh, come on, man. Why are you loading? Okay. Did you think that was a dirty play?
No.
Okay. Okay, good. I thought you was going to say yes because I was arguing with so many people on Twitter.
I didn't think when the push by Milano was dirty either.
No. It was. If they want to say it's a late hit, that's fine.
Yeah, penalty, yeah, but that's not dirty.
Yeah, this is not dirty either. I mean, he just swung around, and the momentum, and obviously, his weight, and Tua is a very small guy.
Yeah.
Like he's a very small guy. Like there's just, I mean, we're talking about men here, but we're talking about a guy who is an offensive lineman, a defensive a defensive lineman who pretty much grabbed going like 20 miles an hour. There's just nothing you could do with that, man. And it's really sad, and it's really scary to to watch how Tua had acted as a result of that. But no, it was not a freaking dirty play. I think it was fair game. This is football. This is what people signed up for. It was just an unfortunate situation that happened with Tua. But go ahead. What were you going to say?
Oh no, I was pretty much, let me read this from McKinley. He said, "Yeah, Skip said that, but you really want to listen to a guy who said LeBron isn't top 10 player, or at the time he said 45 players better than Wade. He agreed. Yeah, I don't like listening to that dude.
Did you agree with McKinley about holding them back, holding Tua for the Jets game and the Bengals?
Yeah, I would have preferred if they did. I would prefer that they did. But
Oh, so you agree with that? Okay.
yeah, yeah. But Brendan's in the chat. How you doing, bro?
What's up? What's up,
All
Aladdin?
right. All right. So I'm done with the topic. So I
I
mean,
mean, yeah, I think the only thing left, for me to say is, you didn't say anything on Twitter, and if this pisses you off, my bad, because you were cursing. I think you curse enough,
mhm,
especially on this topic. But this is what a lot of people also have said when they drafted Tua, and I remember, and you could disregard this or dismiss it if you want to, but I was at your house. We was watching the draft together, and
mhm.
I said if they're smart, they should draft Herbert instead. I don't know if I'm sure you remember that, and I kept hammering that on you over the years after that draft, and I said that something. I don't know. I'm going to assume that Tua is going to be a liability, and every year that dude's been constantly getting hurt, and he's hurt now,
You know who else has been hurt every
and
year?
and and for you to tell me, and again, I cannot believe I had no clue about his ankle, but you say he's fine. But the
Yeah.
thing is, though, with the ribs, situation that he had, this dude, to me, in my opinion, as talented as he is, and as the fact that Miami, they are here to win. After that sign with Tyreek Hill, from Kansas City, after signing him up, I knew that team meant business. That team met serious business. They really wanted to win. They did everything that they can to make sure they got freaking firepower in that offense. Two freaking wide receivers who's a top five as the fastest receivers in the whole entire league. That team meant business. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, Tua is going to be another Tony Romo and a Chad Pennington, or Robert Griffin III, a guy who's talented, but he won't be able to stay healthy and he won't be able to last long in the league. And the guy's small. I think the guy is a that dude looks excuse me, that dude looks puny in that field, puny. And
Mhm.
so seeing this, how he was stumbling on Sunday, and now he had to go on the stretcher on Thursday. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, who we won 86. I'm not saying that his career is over, like all these other idiots are saying. I'm not saying his career is over. That dude's a liability. He can't. That dude cannot stay healthy. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, neither can Dak Prescott, but I don't hear no one saying that. So not saying nothing about him.
Yeah, same thing with with that that
I mean,
Prescott too.
you never brought that up until I just pointed it out.
No, but him too. But the thing is, Tua, he's not lasting long at all. The season just started, and he's hurt.
All right.
The season just started.
He got a concussion. Like if you have a concussion, you're bound to get hurt. I get what you're saying. Like not it's a flaw. It's a flaw. It is. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, if they can keep him healthy, he's more than capable of being the right guy for the team. He's more than
Now,
capable.
if he's not available, what good does that do you?
Okay. If he's available, he's the best. He's their best option. If he's available, he's the best option.
I mean, you could say that, but look what happened even last year. I mean, wasn't there like wasn't there freaking weren't there Dolphins alternating with him and Fitzpatrick? They
No, that
like
was 2 years ago. That was 2 years
uh,
ago. That was two
yeah.
years ago. And they completely fucked that situation up. They completely fucked that situation up. But at the end of the day, when he's on the field, he's been a lot better than he's been bad. Look at the numbers. He's been better. He's been good more than he's been bad.
That's true.
When he's on the field, he can be a very good quarterback. He don't have to be Justin Herbert. He doesn't have to be. He did because Cause trust me, I've seen great quarterbacks not win shit. When Dan Marino, I've seen guys who have arm talent not win anything because they don't have nothing around him.
Mm-hmm.
As long as he can stay healthy, and as long as he can help that team win, then I'm good. I'm good because frankly, they don't have no one else better than him on the roster right now. And trust me, and people can be like, oh, just draft another quarterback.
I guarantee that's what they're going to say. I guarantee it.
But here's the thing: the last before Tua Tagovailoa, who was the last? Who would you say was the last great quarterback we had?
Chad Pennington.
No, he was there for 1 year.
Chad Pennington.
1 year.
But I don't see. I don't.
Year.
I don't know.
He wasn't even that good.
Yeah, that dude was good. He just couldn't stay healthy.
No,
he just couldn't stay healthy.
No, he was like, dude, he wasn't even that good. I'm talking about top 5 quarterback. Who was the last guy we had? That was that.
Hold on. Not Culpepper. Not Ryan Tannehill. No. Well, I don't know who.
Dan Marino.
Oh, come on!
And how long ago? And how long ago was that?
Yeah. That was a long time.
You look at all the quarterbacks that the Cleveland Browns went through, and their best option now is a guy who could be a sex offender. That's the best guy they've had in 20 years since Bernie Kosar. And he's not even playing right now because he's serving a suspension right now. People think that you can just find quarterbacks out of anywhere. It's a lot harder than people make it out to be. You can't be Indianapolis where they get Peyton Manning and then they get Andrew Luck.
Yeah, but look, but Andrew Luck left. He retired. Yeah. He couldn't stay healthy.
And look where they're going through right now. They have to depend on Matt Ryan. Old ass Matt Ryan. If you can get a quarterback that's good and you can keep him healthy, you're golden. You're golden. So again, what you said is you're not entirely wrong, but like, what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna give up on him. Like, bro, I've been through all these goddamn awful. Let me not say that. I've been through all these garbage quarterbacks. No, I want a guy who's good, and I think Tua's good. I think he's good. I just want him to stay healthy.
Oh, so you think he's good?
Very good. And I think he can get better. He has the talent around him to get better.
Mm-hmm.
I just want him to stay healthy. That's it.
I mean, okay. I mean, look. You said it yourself. Now, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. We can move on. You said it yourself that this sport is extremely dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, not everybody could sustain or have the conditioning to play in that sport for an entire season.
I don't disagree with that.
For goodness sakes, look at the NBA. Nowhere near as physical. And look how all the garbage. Well, I shouldn't say garbage, but look at all the freaking players, elite players, like Zion Wilson can't stay healthy. Anthony Davis can't stay healthy. And the time where after Dwayne Wade won his first championship, that dude kept on having knee issues. Who was physically fit, and yet he kept on having knee issues. I think that dude would have been a much more phenomenal player if he was able to stay healthy. And unfortunately, regardless of their nutrition, regardless of how much they work out and how much muscle that they build, whether it's football or basketball, there are just guys who just don't have the proper conditioning to sustain in that type of sport.
Or maybe
I think Tua, unfortunately, especially because of his size, I don't think he could sustain that. Freaking Andrew Luck couldn't even do it, and that's a big guy. Andrew Luck was huge, and I believe he was drafted in the same. Wasn't he drafted in the same year with
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
and guess what? Both of them retired. Yeah. Both of them retired. Great quarterbacks, and both of them retired.
But we know because the sport is dangerous.
Okay, so the fact that we're seeing this now already with Tua, I can't blame people. I can't blame Dolphin fans to say just draft another quarterback. He's
All right,
getting hurt now.
well, then good luck being good in 10 to 15 years. Good luck. Because they think that you can just find a quarterback out of the blue. Yeah, so we had to wait 20 fucking years between great quarterbacks in order to feel good about yourself. I don't want to go through 20 fucking years of this mediocrity bullshit. I'm not dealing with that.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a guy who's good enough, and I believe he's good enough, you give him an opportunity, and hopefully he can stay healthy. And like I said, if he can't stay healthy, then yeah, go ahead, draft another guy. Go ahead, draft another guy.
If they feel that he can't stay healthy,
yeah. If he can't stay healthy, then go ahead, draft another guy. But to me, I would be pissed off if I'm San Diego. I would be pissed off because you know what they said a lot of the same thing about Drew Brees. He had an injury. He had a bad injury, and they decided to let him go. They drafted Phillip Rivers, and Phillip Rivers, great, obviously a great player, great NFL quarterback. But Drew Brees has something that he never had, and that's a Super Bowl.
That's true.
And because the team that he got that got him, the Saints, they developed a system around him, and he became one of the all-time greats. I don't want to risk losing someone like Tua who could be great because of whatever injury that he has to deal with, and then we're continuing drafting guy after guy after guy after guy after guy, just for the sake of it. I've been through that for 20 years. I'm done.
All right. But just so you know, you are in recent history. You already seen it with Robert Griffin. You've seen it with Andrew Luck. You've seen it with Chad Pennington, so on and so on and so on. We've seen this already. Tony Romo, we've seen this already. So if people are going to say draft another quarterback because this dude cannot stay healthy, listen, man, I would probably take that chance because he can't stay healthy even now. So because he can't stay healthy now, you might as well just draft another quarterback. I understand what they're saying. I completely understand what they're saying.
All right, well, we'll be like the Jets. Anyways, go on, go to your topic.
Oh no! Hold on. You. I'm not gonna let you get away with a comment like that, and then you say, "Oh,
I mean, am I lying?
And be just like the Jets."
Am I lying?
So you just going to are you going to dismiss everything what I just said when it comes to being healthy?
Am I lying?
No. I'm talking about the health. Forget the talent. Forget everybody else. I'm just talking about health exclusively. Do you honestly believe that Tua can stay healthy?
I hope he can. I hope he can. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. The sport's dangerous. Like, period. The sport's dangerous. Like Dak Prescott, like I mentioned, Dak Prescott, he's on the injured list every year. Every single year he's on the injured list for whatever reason. And I don't think it has nothing to do with conditioning. It's just unfortunate. The reason why is because the sport is dangerous.
Exactly.
Right.
And there are just, unfortunately, there are just some players, big or small, their bodies just cannot take it.
And when his body can't take it, then he'll retire and then we'll move on.
All right.
But if you want to sit there and go from quarterback to quarterback like the Jets do, then be my guest. But I'm tired. I don't want to be the Jets. We've been the Jets for 20, 25 years, and I'm over it. So, all right, this is your topic.
All right, so moving on to the next topic. Even though this was it was an entertaining topic, even though you were using a lot of foul language.
But I don't like fuck boys, and I sometimes Stephen A can be a fuck boy. So whatever it is, what it is.
Yeah, I hear you. So the second topic, we are going to be talking about the LA Lakers, and the LA Lakers, which is a despicable. This, you know what? No, I don't want to constantly be mean spirited, and we just gonna start with this topic.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Do you have Hulu by any chance?
My brother do.
I watched the legacy of the LA Lakers, the true legacy of the LA Lakers. It's great. It's a great documentary on the team.
Are you going to try to trick me again?
There's no tricking. Like just watch it. It's very good.
Okay, I'll watch it. So it's called The Legacy of the Lakers.
Yeah, the true story of the LA Lakers.
Okay, all right, fine. I'll do that. I'll do that. So Lakers to host fourth annual Pride Night on October 12th against the Timberwolves. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Los Angeles Lakers announced that they will host their fourth annual Pride Night in celebration of the LGBTQ History Month. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't the LGBTQ History Month had already passed?
Yeah.
It has.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 months ago.
Has it been 4 months ago? I feel like it's been like 2.
Only two? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm getting it mixed up with another holiday.
I'll look it up, but continue.
All right. This event will be taking place on Wednesday, October 12th, when the Lakers host the Minnesota Timberwolves at home in Crypto.com Arena. Every fan in the attendance for the preseason game will receive a commemorative Lakers Pride jersey. Since 2018, the Lakers' initiative to celebrate the honor those in the local and NBA communities who work to advance awareness of the LGBTQ.
It's in June.
Okay, so that was 4 months ago.
June, July, August, September. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so 4 months ago, and yet you still want to have some celebration of the LGBTQ History Month.
Because they don't play in June.
Well, tough luck. It's past. Let's move on. Let me continue.
Wait. All right, let me ask you a question. Hey, I got Ryan. I gotta talk to you. Don't mention presidential candidates on the chat. Please don't do that. Our thing could get completely taken out. So please don't mention presidential
Um,
candidates on here.
Wait. So we can't even say their names. Is it really that bad?
I don't want to risk it.
Okay. All right. So
But,
let me
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a
let
question.
me.
Let me
Hmm?
ask you a question. If a team if Martin Luther King Day, if a team's not playing on Martin Luther King Day, then they can't celebrate it.
If a team wants to celebrate Martin Luther King Day, but yet they're not playing that day, if they want to celebrate, I mean, if they want to celebrate it, and it's in yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, continue.
Um, a tradition that LA has done for the Pride celebration since the beginning was giving out the annual Laces of Unity Award. This year, the two-time Olympic medalist Gus Kensworthy will receive the Laces of Unity Award to honor of his
Advocacy.
advocacy
Yeah.
in the LGBTQ community and specifically the Pride sports community. Let me see if there's anything more. Okay. All right. Yeah. This is
You know,
how.
I'll be real with you. I don't. That's not a bad looking jersey.
What do you mean that's not a bad looking jersey?
No, not a bad looking jersey. Trust me, I've seen worse. Seen much worse.
I'm not impressed with this. I'm not. Why do you like the jersey?
Well, one, I like the black. Obviously, I like black jerseys in general, and I like the color scheme. At least the way that it looks in with the logo and with the collar and the stripes on the stripes and the stuff on the collar and on the side. It looks nice. I like the jersey.
Hmm. All right. So yeah, it says join us on October 12th for our annual Lakers Pride Night. All fans in attendance will receive our first ever Laker Pride jersey.
Are
If you
the players wearing this?
It didn't. I don't know if it mentioned that the players are going to be wearing it.
Mhm.
I will probably assume that they are.
I don't know because, like you said, they've done this 4 times, and I've never seen them wear any pride jerseys or nothing like that. I've never seen it.
Okay. Well, I don't like the looks of it. I don't like the looks of it because, for one, like I mentioned before, the reason why I never celebrate Pride Month, or I don't appreciate Pride Month, or I don't like Pride Month is because the whole rainbow situation, like I mentioned before, it has nothing to do with that. It's biblical based, and for them to take it and then use it, for their own, stupid holiday, yeah, I have a huge issue with that. A huge issue with that. No, no, you can laugh all you want,
No,
but I have a- I have I have a huge
I
I have
am
a huge issue
talking.
with that.
I am talking about the comment. Relax your nerve. All right, critical drop. Shout out to you. A perfect example of worse than the jersey is the ugly Spider-Man outfit.
Oh man, who said that? Who said that?
Critical drop. That's what I was laughing about, and then you got all sensitive.
All right, we already like I said before, the whole purpose of the rainbow, type of coloring is a sign, is a covenant, between God and man. A promise that God had made after, the whole, flooding the earth. But then, he basically had a much better, or I should say, a covenant, with humankind. You know what I'm saying? Like it was basically a promise, and yet they want to take this and make it as representation, whatever it is, for the LGBTQ community. So I automatically have an issue with it. Based on that alone, I already have an issue with it. This is supposed to be, for basically for Christianity, and yet they want to use it for the LGBTQ community. I'm not with that. I'll never be. So that's already the first thing that I have an issue with. And number two,
So you don't wait. So,
the other, hold on.
Go ahead.
I don't want to. I don't want to forget. I want to
All
forget.
right, all right.
The other issue is, over and over and over, people have constantly have been saying, we are not here, for all this, politic BS. We came here to watch the game. We came here to watch NBA players play.
You can do
We
that.
we, 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 we did not come here to wear some gay jersey. That's not what we came here for.
You don't have to wear it.
That's not what we came here for. But okay, you say we don't have to wear, but you could,
No.
once again, this is what a lot of people keep saying. It's if they feel like they're constantly shoving this stuff into our face. They feel that this stuff is unnecessary. That we nobody asks for this. Nobody asks for this. All we want you to do is play the game. That's
They
it.
do. Which they do.
That's it.
Which they do.
We don't need another. We don't need any more of this extra mumbo jumbo. We don't need it. We
E-
came to watch the game.
extra mumbo jumbo is what they do to advertise and to promote. It's that simple. And one of the biggest communities for LGBTQ community, and like you said, they've done this 4 times already. Like, it is what it is. Now, no, when you first approached this to me, I said no, because I said that this is. I said I didn't want to talk about it because a lot of this is stuff that is going to happen more and more across the leagues and across sports in general. It's marketing. But the funny thing is they're playing the Minnesota Timberwolves, and obviously, in my opinion, their best player, Anthony Edwards, got caught a couple weeks ago. I guess he said the F word,
Mm-hmm.
and and now they're doing this. Now, do you think it's a coincidence that they're doing this against the Timberwolves?
No,
You think they're doing you? So you think that this is just you just think that it was just by accident that the team that they're picking is the Timberwolves?
I don't think it was a coincidence. It would I would have believed it to be more of a coincidence if it was a regular season game. But the fact that it's a preseason game, no, I don't
Oh,
think it was.
oh, it's a preseason game.
Yeah, I believe it is. Let me make sure I'm right about this. Hang on.
October. Wait. Go to the main. Go to the top.
Go up.
Yeah, go up. Go up.
I am. I
Up.
am. I am. It's
No, you're
going up.
going down. You're going up. You're going down. Go up. Go to the top of the page. All right. So it's October 12th. So it's a preseason game.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, preseason. Yeah, preseason.
All right. Then wait. Okay. Oh man. Okay, if it's a random preseason game, what are you getting upset about?
Wait. Hold on. So, what? Okay, have it now. Let me ask you a question. Regardless if it's a preseason game or a regular season game, aren't you going there to watch the game?
I mean, look,
It's a game. A game is still a game, right? You're still going there to watch the game. Yes.
I don't watch games that don't matter.
No. You're not answering the question.
But if I were to go, yes, I'm going there to watch the game.
Exactly. So what does it matter that it happened in a preseason game or in a regular season game?
I just feel like this is completely irrelevant.
How is it okay? Why would it be even more relevant on a regular game?
Because it's a regular game.
Okay.
The game matters.
Okay, but we're still talking about the LGBTQ community though, the whole pride thing though.
Yeah.
Well, what does it matter if it was on a preseason game or a regular season game?
I honestly, you should ask yourself that question.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Steve, it could be the NBA Finals. I don't care. I don't care what they wear. I don't care what promotion they put out there. No, my problem. I don't follow the Lakers at all. In fact, I actually don't like the Lakers. So I don't care at all what they do. But the reason why we're talking about this because of you, my friend.
Yeah. I want to talk about it because once again, this abnormal, sinful, abomination, type of garbage is being shoved on people's face again. Is being shoved in people's faces. Yeah. Okay. Regardless if it's a preseason game, the results stay the same. It's being shoved in people's faces. The results stay the same, my friend. Again, they are shoving this stuff in your face. Nobody cares about virtue signaling. Nobody cares about social justice messaging. Nobody cares about that stuff. People did not come to the NBA or the NFL or whatever sports league to be.
Wait.
Hold on, no. This is like the third time. This is like the third time you're interrupting. Hold on, I want to finish.
But I just caught you though. Go ahead.
This is the third. Talking about politics and especially talking about something that is already divisive anyway.
Mm-hmm.
This causes a division regardless. Mm-hmm. Whether it's in a preseason game or regular game, it still causes a division because there are so many people who don't support this type of activity. Okay. They don't. Me being a Christian, me being a Christian, I follow God. I believe in Jesus Christ. And for a fact that this is something that he does not like. And this is something that I myself can't stand for. I'm not going to be paying attention and try to participate in promoting, this garbage. I'm not.
You technically are. You technically
are. And for this Lakers organization to promote something that was 4 months ago anyway, to me, I call it BS. I think it's BS.
You're just getting upset. This is a second. Okay, first of all, let me.
It's BS.
Nah, look,
it is.
I'm going. Okay, first of all, let me read Critical Drop thing, and then I'm going to completely dissect and destroy your argument. Right. So, Critical Drop said that the Miami Broward School Board rejected the LGBTQ History Month 8-1 votes. One voter said that it's because it's not as impactful as BCA, which is breast cancer awareness. Steve rather wear pink than rainbow jersey. No, you see, because according to Steve, yellow is a feminine color. This is the opinion of masculinity that you guys are getting it from, are hearing from a man who thinks that wearing yellow is feminine.
I didn't say. Did I say yellow? I could have said pink.
You said yellow.
No, I said pink.
No. You at first you said yellow. That's why you brought up the whole Tweety thing.
Yeah, but I also,
No,
I also brought in. No, I brought pink because of your Kirby thing. Remember that?
okay, that's fine. But who else wears pink? Bret the Hitman Hart. And you didn't have a problem with that. You didn't have a problem with that.
Look. Look. We're going off topic here. We're going off topic. We could talk about that another day.
Everything is connected. Everything is connected.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Because your opinion on all this is based on toxic masculinity. That's all this is.
There's nothing toxic about this.
Come on.
When I am talking about the LGBTQ stuff, it is mainly because as being a Christian, it's not something that I want to support.
Do you like the Lakers?
It's not something. No. Who told you I like the Lakers?
Okay, then what are you talking about this for?
Because it is. What? Dude, like I said earlier, they are shoving this stuff on people's faces, and this is intentional. This is intentional. Yeah. I may not be a Lakers fan, but I pay attention to them though because the Lakers
everything that you don't like.
The Lakers is one of the main brands in the NBA. Them in New York, yes or no?
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. No. Yes. Don't give me to an extent. Okay, but yes, they are.
But here's the thing. Is that mindset is why I have to sit there and look at a team like the New York Knicks, who haven't been relevant in 30 years, get Christmas game, while the Miami Heat, who've been a much better franchise than them, who has more championships than they do, don't get Christmas games. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that nonsense. Here's the thing, right? It's a preseason game. They're in a community that is heavily LGBTQ. This is the 4th year they've done this, and ultimately, it's a team you don't even like. So why are we even talking about it? Why is this even a topic? The thing is that you are somebody who likes to get upset. You like to find things to get upset about, and all the virtue signaling. That's what the NBA. That's what the NBA is. This is what the NBA is. Dude, the NBA was near death. Why? Because they felt like there were too many black players in the league. And then they brought up all the stuff about drugs and stuff like that going on in the 70s. One of the greatest players that we've ever seen, the guy who recently passed away, Bill Russell, right? You think he's admired as much as Larry Bird? No. Why do you think that is? It's obvious. So you're sitting there getting upset over the NBA virtue signaling. Isn't that what Black History Month is? Virtue signaling? Celebrating Martin Luther King Day? Anybody can consider that virtue signaling, especially if you're someone who don't like the celebration of black people.
No, I said.
Wait, I have one more example. And then you can go. The Miami Heat. Like they've done promotion in the past to celebrate Hispanic people, right? Why? Because they're in a heavy Hispanic area, so they'll have like low heat or whatever. You think I get upset about it? No. Why should I? One is marketing, and two, at the end of the day, I don't care what they wear. I watch the game. That's all I care about. Go ahead, try. Excuse your. Go ahead, talk.
Yeah, it seems like every time I say something, you I think you intentionally just try to remove it from your head, and then you just try to, respond, with something else, like how you did with the whole pink thing. Look, here's the bottom line, right? When we are talking about basketball, we are trying to get away from all the politics stuff, right?
And the one place to the NBA,
we've all been constantly, whether if it's with the movies, any other type of entertainment, we constantly are hearing about this LGBTQ nonsense and this transgender nonsense. Enough is enough.
All right.
Enough.
All right. So you said
enough.
That,
and the fact that they have to constantly add it now, like it's too much. And now you're putting gay jerseys and in the stands. Like enough is enough. Like this has gone way overboard now. It's too much.
So you think that the national anthem, that's political?
Yeah, but do you see?
But
Do you see? No.
but
The difference between
oh, come on.
the difference between the national anthem and the difference between with this gay garbage is the difference is the national anthem, the U.S. flag, supposed to bring unity.
And what do you think
Because everybody
LGBTQ flag
hold on,
represent?
it's
What do you
supposed
think
to
it
represent
represents?
hold on. It's supposed to represent unity because we're
What
all
do you think?
Americans.
What do you
We're
think?
all living in the free, right?
What do you think?
That's
No,
what
do
it's
we?
supposed to
Oh, do
represent.
wait. So
Hold on, hold on.
do we?
That's what it's supposed to represent.
So the American flag is supposed to represent everybody equally. Is that what you believe?
Yes.
And yet when it comes to gay pride, you're like, oh no, I get that away from me. I thought you were about everybody. I thought you were about representing everybody. It's an oxymoron.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Let me tell you why. Because the U.S. flag also represents the LGBTQ community.
Does
the
it?
U.S. The U.S. flag represents black, white, Hispanic, Asian, rich, poor, etc., 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 gay or straight. That's what the U.S. flag represents.
Mm-hmm.
There's no exclusion when it comes to the U.S. flag. You know that. Don't play dumb with me. That's what the flag represents.
No. That's what you wanted to represent.
No, that's what
That
it
what you wanted
represents.
to represent.
That's what it represents.
That's what you wanted to represent.
The LGBTQ community, the LGBTQ flag, pride, whatever. First up, it's a lie because that's not what it's about. That's the first thing. It's first up. It's a lie.
You don't know anything about the lie. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a lie because I actually know what the rainbow actually means and what it represents. You don't. I do. Right.
Rainbow's a rainbow. Rainbow's a rainbow. That's all. That's all you know about a rainbow.
Okay, rainbow. Like I said, you don't know. You don't.
No, I mean the first time I was introduced to a rainbow was with Lucky Charms. So is that blasphemous?
Okay,
let me ask you that question.
So once again, you don't know.
Is the rainbow for Lucky Charms blasphemous?
Is
the rainbow for Lucky Charms blasphemous?
No, it's not blasphemous.
How is it not blasphemous?
It's not blasphemous. They just put it. All they're doing is just putting it in cereal. That's all they're doing.
They took something religious and turned it into a goddamn cereal. How is that?
Watch.
I apologize.
Watch your language, please.
But they use it as marketing for a cereal. How is that not blasphemous? How is that not blasphemous?
Oh, come on! If you're honestly going to
you know what it is.
If you're honestly going to say that is the same,
you know what it is.
That is exactly the same.
I know exactly what it is. It's because it doesn't offend you. That's why. It don't offend you. That's why you don't care. Like if you're telling me just now, look what I just did just now. I used God's name in vain. That offended you. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, don't do that.
Of course it did. Of course it offended you. But if I say another cuss word, now you say, oh, you don't like it, but it won't offend you as much. If I said fuck,
I always bring up whether it's in the podcast or in person to watch your language, but you ignore me obviously because
but
you can do what you want.
The only time, but the time that you mention it is when I'm upset or when I use the GD word. You're offended. Yeah. I don't want to say it. GD. Okay. The thing is that you sit there and talk about the American flag being a representation of everybody, but yeah, but when you have people who want to show their gay pride, you're against it. You're against it, and again we had this conversation before, so I don't want to keep going back and forth. I get it.
You do?
Yeah,
really?
I do. I get it because you're obviously you're religious. You're Christianity. They forbid gay stuff, whatever. I get it, but at the end of the day, they're American, just like you and me. And if they had an American flag and a gay pride flag side by side, like what's the problem?
what I would say is get rid of the pride flag and keep the American flag. That's what I would say.
Why?
That's what I would say.
Why?
Because the American flag is all that we need.
Oh, is it all that we need, or is the one that is the American flag the one that doesn't offend you?
No, that's all. That's all that we need. We don't need a freaking gay flag. We don't need a Black Lives Matter flag. What all we need is the U.S. flag, because that's the flag that actually represents everybody. That actually means unity. Everything else is about division.
Because
The
history showcases that, right?
the LGBTQ flag, whatever it is, pride flag, that represents division. That's what it represents.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. There's nothing about the gay flag, the gay flag that unified division, and neither does the Black Lives Matter flag to be also. None of that means division. It means unity. It means unity.
Mm-hmm.
All and I would want to believe that the American flag represents unity.
It does.
But here's the thing. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. The people who use that flag are the ones who are the most divisive people on here. All these neckbeards that I see on Twitter, right? They're all saying all those racist shit. They all seem to have the American flag on there. All of them seem to have the American flag in their bio.
What is that? What does that got to do with the flag?
I don't know what that had to do with the flag. And a lot of people have the problem is a lot of people that have your mindset who have this heroic view of the American flag, despite its history. All of them seem to like to espouse racist rhetoric towards either black people, Hispanics, or the Mexicans in the border, the gay people, trans people, black people, all the people that they're told to be afraid of, right? All of them seem to have that American flag. All of them seem to follow the same politicians. And that's not an accident. That's not an accident, because there's one party that has used the American flag as a marketing tool to get people like you to vote for them.
You for real, dude?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me read this from Nolan. Nolan said that pictures don't like pride. Traditional should be a picture. Oh man.
Yeah, very funny, Nolan. But yeah, okay. The flag is the only flag that actually represents unity, because it represents everybody. Whether if you are gay or straight, rich or poor, black or white, it represents everybody.
But
that's what it represents.
But if they showcase their gayness, then that's a bad thing. You see how that doesn't make any sense?
If somebody decides to showcase that they're a homosexual, that's fine. But they know that when they start representing, their stupid flag, no, that's not something that I like. The U.S. flag is all that we need, and you know it.
So
the U.S. flag is yeah, and about the Timberwolves, that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
You were always the one that also said that freedom of speech matters too. Isn't that what you said?
Freedom of speech? What are you talking about? You talking about Anthony Edwards?
Yes.
I didn't care about what he said. It didn't bother me.
Should he have gotten fined?
Yeah, he should have.
Oh, then it does bother you. Then it does bother you.
No, it doesn't bother you. No, it doesn't bother me. Here's the thing: he's a public figure who plays for a public team. If you're going to sit there and say that, you're just being stupid. And honestly, it doesn't matter if he said gay, if he said anything that was offensive to any other race. Like, you have to be smarter than that if you're him.
This is what we're talking about, everybody. I'm not going to read the thing. I just want everyone to get a quick visual. The NBA fines Timberwolves Anthony Edwards $40,000 for derogatory social media posts.
Trust me, that's a drop in the hat. He'll be fine.
That's still a lot of money.
Fine, but I'm sure his Sprite deals probably cost a lot more than that.
So, crap, what happened here?
While you look, let me
detractors. No. I'm reading right now. I'm reading right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Detractors will say that in amounts to little more than walking around money. But on Tuesday, the NBA imposed discipline on Timberwolves guard Anthony Edwards for a video he posted on Instagram that included derogatory anti-LGBTQ comments. NBA president of the league operations, Brian Spurwell, I guess, announced that Edwards has been fined 40K for using offensive derogatory language on social media. In a press release, Springwell notes that Edward has acknowledged that his actions were inappropriate. Right. So in the Instagram video, since deleted, Edwards could be heard calling a group of black men who were hugging on the sidewalk queer ASS. Um, what? Well, do you know what? Do you know what this one's supposed to be?
Niggas,
Okay.
queer ass niggas. That's what he said.
I did, yeah, I did. So Edwards was riding in the car while a video was being shot.
Yeah.
Look,
Okay. All right.
look,
Wait.
look what.
Wait. Let me stop right there. Right. Again, you mentioned freedom of speech, right? And you know this, and everyone who knows you has said this to you, and yet you continuously don't listen. Just because you have freedom of speech doesn't mean you have freedom of consequence. Now, here's the thing. Why are they videotaping this? And why they're posting it on fucking Instagram? Again, you don't have you can agree with what he's saying if you want, and I don't know if you are or not, but you have to admit that recording it and posting it on social media is stupid. It's very fucking stupid.
Even if he didn't say the N word, he still would have gotten fined anyway.
You know wait, what? No, wait, he got fined for saying what he said. And videotaping it and posting it on social media.
Yeah.
That's dumb. That's what young people do nowadays. They do stupid shit and they post it on social media. Stupid.
But I still think that, like I said on Twitter, look, the NBA or whatever league could, say, whatever they want. But the fact that they have this dude under surveillance 24/7, I call BS.
Who has him under surveillance?
I call BS on that. Like,
who has him under surveillance?
The NBA. Want to know why?
How?
Want to know why?
Why?
Because he is doing this off of company's time, out of company's time. He's not working. He's not working in the NBA right now. He is out of company's time. Here's the other thing that I find interesting.
Oh my god! Go ahead.
You could laugh, but I'm gonna make you look foolish now. You could laugh right now. You could laugh. Continue laughing.
No,
I find it very interesting that all the derogatory and all the profanity and all the garbage that these players say to each other on the court on company's time, but yet nothing happens to them. Oh no, it's when they're out of company's time is where it matters. Not when they're in the game. Not when they're in the game where fans could hear them.
Oh,
not in the game where they're offending each other. Oh, for the sake of competition. No. Oh, but outside of company's time, when you are not working, oh, you know what? Let's find this dude for 40K. Let's find this dude 40K. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. I'm not with that. I'm not. Let me live my life when I am off of company's time. Thank you.
Oh man. Okay, let's start from the beginning. All right. Okay, first of all, he wasn't being surveillance. He posted the video on whoever was with him, either it was him or someone else, posted it on social media.
I don't know who he was with.
I don't give a shit who he was with. They posted it on social media. You know this. If you are, especially if you are a high-ranking official, or if you are a high-profile employee of a company, which is what Anthony Edwards is, you can't say what he said. Post it on your own and not expect to get punished for it. it's common sense. And honestly, I think you know it, but you don't want to admit it, which is fine. It is what it is.
What, that he's
But you
out of
know,
company's time? Is that what you're saying?
of course, he's off of company time, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that you're still representing that brand. Yes or no?
Out of company's time, fine, whatever.
When you are off of company time, you are still representing the brand. Still.
I guess so.
No, don't say I guess so. Because if he had committed a crime, where are you gonna say he's from?
No, if he had committed a crime, he's out of the league.
No, he's not. No, not necessarily. Not
Well,
necessarily. But he would get fined
yeah,
if he
sure.
committed a crime.
Mm-hmm.
And you can and you may not like to hear this, but what he said that can easily, if someone took offense to it, they can easily catch him on a hate crime. They can easily catch him on a hate crime.
Yeah, those are people that just intentionally want to play victim. That's all.
Okay,
And so
but
they,
if
so
you
they
if
could
you
get
but if
attention.
but if someone called you the N-word, you can get them on a hate crime. You can get them on a hate crime. So it's like here's the thing. If you don't like gay people, that's fine. Don't record yourself saying you hate gay people or saying something stupid. It never works out good for you. Just don't record it. But these young niggas, all they want to do is just record stupid shit that they do. And then they get upset when they get in trouble. They make excuses when they get in trouble. If you want to keep your shit private, stay private. Stay the fuck off of social media.
I agree with that somewhat. Yeah.
All right. Nolan says,
Hold on. Let me read this one so we can get out of here. So he issued an apology on Twitter account following the tidal wave of reaction, most of it condemning what he said. What he said was immature, hurtful, disrespectful, and I'm incredibly sorry. It's unacceptable for me or anyone to use that language and in such a hurtful way. Oh, you hurt my feelings. Oh, I'm so hurt. My life is over. I can't go to school. I can't study. I can't work. I can't concentrate it. My life is over because he said such a bad word to me. Get the hell out of my face, man, and be a man. Let's continue. There's no excuse for it. No, 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 no,
no. I'm gonna stop you right there.
no. I want to finish. I want to finish. Let me finish.
Being disrespectful of being a man. That what you think being a man is.
Let me finish.
Toxic masculinity at its finest.
Let me finish. In such a hurtful way. You get out of here with that garbage. Bunch of crybabies. There's no excuse for it at all. I was raised better than that. The Timberwolves followed with the reaction of their own. We are disappointed in the language and actions Anthony Edwards displayed on social media. The Timberwolves are committed to being an inclusive and welcoming organization for all and for all and apologize for the offense that has caused to so many. They'll be fine. All right? They'll be fine. You stop acting like as if everybody's life is over just because of a stupid post, so because of a stupid video on social media. Get over it. All right? Get over it. Like all this nonsense of these people playing victim all the time. Oh, he hurt my feelings. You got to do something about this because he hurt my feelings. Let's take away his money for punishment because of a word. Like seriously, get out of here with this garbage. All right, we're almost done. At this point, there has been no word on whether the Wolves will impose their own sanctions on Edwards for his social media comments. And Nikola Jokic, Kevin Durant, Rajon Rondo, Kobe Bryant are amongst NBA players who've been disciplined by the league in the past for anti-gay language. Edwards has said, "Oh, all right, that's not important." Yeah. So at the end of the day, in my opinion, look, if you really find what he said, was offensive, like in all seriousness, quit your crying. Quit your crying. You'll be fine. Wait, whatever he said in social media, you'll be fine. All right. Stop acting like as if you got into a divorce or something. All right. You'll be fine. Now, at the end of the day, my last and final thing is this whole gay pride stuff is constantly being pushed in people's faces. I think they went overboard by putting, jerseys, gay jerseys for people to wear. And if a Christian is out there wearing it, shame on you. If a Christian who says that they love Jesus and that Jesus is their personal savior, they love God. If you go out there and you put on that jersey representing the LGBTQ community, shame on you.
All right. Good one, Haas. Let me finish these comments. Right. They feel they raised the flag and spewed the rhetoric under it. Nolan also said this is why we have so many flags. Yeah, we have tons of flags. We have American flag, we have Haitian flag, we have Dominican flag, we have gay pride flags, we got fucking checker flag, we got McDonald's flag, we have flags everywhere. So it is what it is. Ryan Meadows said that freedom of speech does not automatically make you immune to freedom of consequence. You hear that all the time, and yet you don't listen.
No, I do hear that. I'm not saying that Ryan Meadows is wrong for saying it. I can completely understand, but like, come on, man. Like, you're gonna freaking take my money away because of what I said, like that.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because that's a consequence for your freedom of speech. If you say something stupid, you're gonna get fined. Why? Because you represent their brand.
Yeah, at the end, and the hypocrisy when they don't do absolutely nothing to these players when they say these things in the court. But go ahead, continue.
Wait,
no.
No.
Go read the comments. Read the comments.
Bring back your article. Bring back your article.
Wait, what?
Bring back the article you just put out there.
All right, hang on. Oh crap! I didn't share it. Hang on. Give me a second. Which one?
I'll tell you. Scroll down.
Mm-hmm.
No. Go to the one. Go to the Anthony Edwards article.
Go ahead.
Anthony Edwards. Go to the Anthony Edwards article.
Mm-hmm.
Scroll down.
All right. Let me tell me when to stop. All right.
Yeah. Go to the part where it said that the other players have been fined for that type of rhetoric in the past. Go to that part.
Well, that's at the end. Let me see.
Yeah, and what you said that they
did. At this point, there was nowhere. No, hold on. No kids, Kobe Bryant, Rondo, who have been disciplined by the league in the past for anti-gay language.
No,
right, what
I can't. Okay, you said that they don't punish them on the court for the language. That's not true. I can't speak for Jokic. I can't speak for Durant. I can't speak for Rondo. But I know for a fact that Kobe Bryant got fined for using a gay slur at a referee during a game.
At a referee?
Yeah.
But what about at each other?
Steve, are you really?
I'm asking you. What about when saying at each other?
You have to look at the others. But really, you're trying. You see. You're trying.
No. I caught you. That's why. I caught you.
No, you did not.
Here is my original point. I didn't say anything about the refs. What I said is when what I said.
You said
listen,
on the job. When did they interact with referees?
What I said. No. What I said is when they are saying it to each other.
When do you interact with referees?
Look. Saying anything bad about the referee, you could get fined. It doesn't have to be anti-gay stuff. You could be really extremely derogatory towards ref and you'll get fined. You touch the referee, you out the game.
That's not entirely true.
Oh, come on.
That's not entirely true. But yeah, but they only interact with referees on the job.
No, but what I'm saying is when they are competing against each other, and then when they're using derogatory language against each other, that's what I said from the beginning. That's what I said from the. No, I'm not playing word games.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not playing word games. I said what I said. I said what I said.
You said
against each other. Against each other.
You said that they don't get fined for that type of rhetoric on the job.
against each other.
Come on, cut the bull crap, Steve. You're bull crapping.
That's what I said. I'm just telling you what I said.
When do they interact with referees? On the job. On the job.
Have no.
Come on, you're not.
No. Hold on. Have no. Look.
You're full of
When you are seeing a lot of foul language towards a ref, you are aware that you get teed up, right?
And when did
No.
that happen? Do that happen off the work or on the job or off the job?
Are you
on the
aware?
job or off the job?
Are you aware?
On the job or off the job?
Listen, answer my question. Are you aware that when you are and you don't even have to say anything when it comes to foul language or using profanity. Just arguing with the refs using regular words, you get a T. And when you get a T,
technical is not a fine.
When you get a technical, you do get fined.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. You're right there. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are right. But the fact is, you said that they don't get in trouble for that type of language on the job, and that's not true. That's not true. They don't. Their fine or not increased depending on who they say it to. They get fined for what they said. It don't matter if it's a player or a referee.
Yeah,
they're doing it on the job.
But on the job. But on the job, they're doing it all the time. They're doing it at every job. They're doing it at every job.
If they get caught, they get fined.
No, they don't. Come on, dude. Stop lying. All the crazy language that they use in the 90s and in the early 2000s and even now. All the language that they use even now. Come on, you mean to tell me that they're going to get fined every single time they use it? Every single time and the F word?
It's in the article that you linked. They told you all the players that got fined for the anti-gay rhetoric. It says it in there. It's in the article. You're just in denial, and that's fine.
Yeah, okay. You're not listening, but that's fine. That's fine.
I am listening, but you're not making any sense. That's the problem. You're not making no sense. You read it in the article. We're fining for behavior off the court now. Yeah, if you post it on social media.
Thank you, Nolan. Thank you.
If you post it on social media,
thank you.
And you embarrass the brand, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Like it's like, yeah. Let me continue. There's a lot of comments. Queer ass folk, dude is regarded for posting it. That doesn't in the NBA needed to fine him.
Thank you.
That doesn't mean that NBA needed to fine him. I don't think the NBA fined. I think the team fined him. Yeah, I think the team fined him. I mean, the NBA probably gonna fine him too, maybe, but the team fined him. Why? Because not only did he say what he said was stupid, he decided to post it on social media so everyone can see. If he had just done it in the privacy of his own, surroundings, all it would have been was hearsay between him and whatever who he said it to, and they probably didn't even hear him. But since he wanted to be dumb and post it on social media, he got caught, and all because of him. I would find him just for being stupid.
Well, even if somebody else had videotaped it, he would have been fined anyway.
I knew Steven would say it.
Would say what? Well, hold on. Would say what, Nolan? I want to know exactly. You knew what? You know what? I don't know. I don't know if you're meaning that as a if you're like dissing me about it or if you're giving me credit about it. I don't know. But tell me what you mean. Go ahead.
The league has conduct policy, which is true. They do. That's why all those guys who used that language got fined on the job. Open YouTube, and the first thing I see is this live stream. Big ups. Thank you, F. Thank you for watching us.
Appreciate you, F, man. And
Ruben said on the court, it's a tech. That there is a fine. Okay. So
Like
yeah, there is a
I
fine.
said,
There is a fine.
like I said, yes.
But if you
When you
but if,
get so what I was trying to explain to you was
mhm.
that you don't have to say, anti,
No, you
gay
don't.
stuff.
No,
You
you
could
don't.
just say,
But
you could just say, you could just tell the ref, oh, you're stupid, you don't know how to do your job.
yeah,
You get teed for that, and you get a fine.
yeah,
Every time you get it teed up, you get a fine.
yeah.
But that's towards. But again, if that's going to be towards the ref, you're already an idiot because you already know that the league is going to protect the
But
ref
when but when did but
at
when did
all
that
times.
but when did that happen?
Hmm?
Where did that happen?
What?
On the job, getting a fine for getting technical. You do that on the job or off the job?
Yeah, it's on the
On the
job.
job.
Yeah,
So how is that any different than what Kobe Bryant said to the referee?
yeah.
I think he called him an FAG.
The
Called him a
difference
fag.
is if he had said that to another player, I don't think he would have gotten fined.
If he was heard saying it, then he probably would have gotten fined.
You think so?
Yeah,
After all the derogatory stuff that they say each other on a daily basis
yeah. Look,
for the sake of
guys,
competition.
trust me, guys get fined for cursing at each other too. You notice when guys are like going back and forth, they hit guys with T's all the time
Yeah.
for saying stuff to each other.
Well, I think when that happens, you know how when guys will go into each other's faces like they're about to fight,
Of
and
course,
guys have to break them
and
up.
of course,
I think it's more towards of the body language in a particular case like that. You know what I'm saying?
no, but they're not. But those guys aren't saying to each other, "Hey, what's up?" No, they're saying bad shit to each other, and that
Yeah,
happens on the job.
yeah. But I also see that when it's very excessive, like
Okay.
when they're going overboard, then yeah, sure, yeah.
Well, ultimately, here's my final take on this. Because first of all, I don't give a shit about the Lakers gay pride thing. I don't care. That you want to get upset about that, that's on you. I like the jersey. But since I don't like the Lakers, I'm not wearing it. Here's the thing.
So you would wear it if you like the Lakers.
Yeah,
You'd be supporting the LGBTQ community. You know that, right? You're aware of that, right?
I bought it. I bought it because I like the jersey. If they want to
No,
say
no,
I'm
no, 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 no,
supporting,
no.
no, if they want to say
You'll
if they want
you'll
to
be
say that
supporting
I'm
them.
supporting, if they want to say
Yes,
I'm supporting,
yes, that's what you'll be doing. That's
then
exactly what you're
whatever.
doing.
Then fine, whatever. As long as I get to wear the jersey, I don't give a shit. I don't fucking care.
Of course you don't.
And you know I
Go
don't
ahead.
care. Here's the ultimate thing. Once again, here's the issue. If you're going to say something stupid, don't record it. If you're going to do something stupid, don't record it. Like it's that simple. But young people nowadays, they just everything has to be on social media. Everything has to be on Instagram. Everything has to be on Twitter. Don't be stupid. Period. Don't be stupid. And that's why he got fined. He got fined for being stupid. Because at the end of the day, since you are a high profile you're a high profile athlete. You're someone who gets a lot of you generate a lot of clicks. You generate a lot of buzz. If you do something stupid, even if it's on your off time, that's going to affect your job. We're not going to sit here and pretend that Ezra Miller, all the stuff that he's done hasn't affected his job, and all that stuff he did was it was off the clock. So why is there talk about him not being on Flash anymore? Why? Because he's embarrassing the brand. That's why. He's embarrassing the brand.
Is he off of Flash officially?
I don't know. But there's talk that he might be out, and he should be out. So every time he makes the headlines is bad. And if you have one person who don't want to watch that movie because of all the bullshit he's done, that's a bad sign. That's a bad thing. So I
You
don't
know,
want to hear.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they cancel it. I mean, I don't want to go too off topic, but DC has been canceling so many stuff anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to cancel this, even if the project is finished. They've been canceling so many movies lately, so I don't see they will have a problem with canceling the Flash movie.
but you understand what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if The Rock is out here doing all this stupid shit and getting in trouble and stuff like that, like do you think that make the promotion of his movie Black Adam good? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. If you're high profile, whether you're an athlete, actor, whatever, and you're out there getting in trouble and you're making the brand look bad. You're making the company you work for look bad.
Well, yeah, that's why, in a lot of even in smaller companies, like let's say Walmart or something, or Publix, where I used to work at. Even if you're not doing anything bad, all right, if you're not doing anything bad, they don't want you to go to the bar with uniform on. And we're just talking about and again, we're talking about off of company's time. They don't want you to go to the bar with your uniform on. They want you to be out of
Okay.
uniform when you do, because even though you're on your own time, you're off the clock, you're not getting paid anymore. They don't want that brand to be associated in that type of setting. You know what I mean?
And think about this, right? You have all these people. You have people who in viral videos of people being stupid or being racist or whatever. And what do the first thing that people do? They try to look up who that person is. Why? So that they can go to the company and be like, look who you employed, right? Then the company goes to the manager or whatever and be like, yo, this guy has to go. Why? Because you're embarrassing the brand.
Yeah.
And why is Anthony Edwards supposed to be any different?
Yeah,
Why
that's
is he
true.
any different?
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
Because even I have said, and in many occasions, that if you're going to do something that's really crazy, really lavish or whatever, and the company finds out about it, yeah, because it is similar to if you're committing a crime, even though it's out of company's time, they have the right to fire you.
yeah,
What,
at
what
the end
were
of
you
the
going
day,
to say?
no, but like at the end of the day, just don't embarrass the company. That's it. Just don't embarrass the company. That's what Anthony Edwards did. That's what he did. And look, like I don't think it's not a fireable offense or nothing like that. They ain't gonna fucking fire him, nothing like that. He got 40K taken out. Like I said, he'll make more. He'll make that back in the Sprite commercial. That's it. He apologized. I like whether he's right or whether he's legit or not. It don't matter. Like he apologized, and at the very least, he'll know. Don't post everything on fucking on social media.
Well,
Like Ruben, like
go ahead.
no, like Ruben said, and then I'll let you go. Ruben, 100%. Why would you record that? Like people would co-sign his opinion. I mean, the co-signing his opinion part, I don't even care about that. Just don't record it. Just don't record it. That's it. You can have all the opinions, all the crazy opinions you want. Just don't fucking record it.
Yeah, I do agree that if you're going to record yourself and then you're going to put it out there, you're just going to be asking for trouble. You're just asking for trouble. I completely forgot that people nowadays are trying to look you up on social media to see where you work, to see what you do, just so they could
Get you fired.
to get you fired, to get you in trouble, etc., etc. Yeah.
And that's that, and you have to be careful with that. And Nolan, I think he's referring to Ezra Miller here. He's a distraction. Absolutely, he is. Absolutely, he is. And plus, he sucks at being Flash anyway. So that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, I think you're only saying that because of what he has done in recent past. That's why you're saying that.
No, I said that because of Justice League, and he was shitty in that. He was awful in that movie.
He was awful.
Yeah, I hate the Flash in that movie.
Hmm.
He was fucking
Okay.
terrible.
No.
But anyways, I'm glad you ultimately agree with me, at least on the Edwards thing.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Last topic. Because after this, going straight to bed.
Yeah, I think we're doing good on time. We should finish real soon.
Okay. Here's the thing. I knew that this shit wasn't gonna work. Google Stadia. Um, let's read the This is actually let me just read this. Google's announcement that it would be shutting down its Stadia game development studios shocked the industry. It was just 2 years ago that Stadia announced the actualization. Steve, you're with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. That the actualization of these studios, meaning that they haven't had much time to put together their first game. The decision from Google has left many questioning why. Though the Stadia team has offered little in reply, one apparent reason, according to a report from an internal Q&A, was Bethesda. Now, before I go on and continue with this, right? Now, you had an article saying that a whole bunch of people got a whole bunch of devs got blindsided by this,
Mm-hmm.
right? So whenever you could get the article whenever you get a chance, but to me, I knew cloud gaming. To me, cloud gaming, and look, I've never used Stadia. I have no interest in using Stadia.
Yeah.
I know as of right now, cloud gaming cannot be your main avenue for gaming. It can't be. It can't be your main avenue for gaming. Where the technology is just not there right now for that to be your main avenue for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't. And also, I have to also point this out. This is another line of stuff that Google has ruined. Like they ruined Google Hangout, right? They ruined there's something else they ruined. They and frankly they ruined YouTube. They ruined
Oh,
YouTube.
I forgot what exactly they did. Can you remind me?
No, like first of all, they added the ads, which I understand to an extent. They added the ads. They got rid of the ability to do video responses. Right. I remember like back in the day, YouTube used to be a much more user friendly platform. User friendly platform.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's not. Now it's not. So they ruined you. They ruined YouTube. They brought in and then got rid of Google Plus. You know what I mean? Like Google's not Google. They may make a shit ton of money, but when it comes to a lot of other stuff, they're not good at it. Nolan said no. My Stadia. You had a Stadia, Nolan? Like I have to see. I have to see. 'Cause I've never seen one in the wild. Never
Oh
seen one.
wow, you had a Stadia. I didn't know anybody that had a Stadia.
I
I
didn't
didn't know
know.
anybody in person
Yeah,
that had a
I didn't know.
Stadia.
I didn't know anyone that had one either. I didn't know no one that had one either. And you know, I'm hearing. I see. I've done research on it, seen some videos on it, and it's not like it was a bad service for cloud gaming. But to me, if your connection's bad, you're shit out of luck, and you're paying money for that. And speaking of money, they're refunding. If you go to the Google Play Store or whatever, and you have all your receipts and everything like that, they're refunding you your money
Yeah.
and the hardware. They're refunding the software and the hardware. You know how much money that costs? That's
The
gonna
hard.
cost people.
I never knew how much the hardware was.
Yeah, I didn't know either, but having that stuff returned and giving everybody their money, that's a lot of money.
Tell me.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
money that they're losing.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. But let me read your part first.
Yeah. Okay. So here it is right here. Oh, let me share it one more time. Here we go. So here it says Google Stadia shutdown sends blindsided developers scrambling. Developers working on games for Google Stadia service heard that the streaming platform was shutting down when the news broke yesterday, according to public accounts and sources speaking to Exos. I think that's how you say it. Why it matters. Google abrupt move has sent developers scrambling and raised numerous questions about the fate of Stadia games and the money spent to make them. So as y'all, it says right here, by Stadia shutting down completely, all the money, all the resources that was spent, to make future games, for the Stadia, it seems like all has been lost because there's nothing. Because what can you do with the games now that you can release it into the console, into the Stadia? Like there's nothing. What you're gonna do now? There's nothing you could do.
I mean,
So
they probably have games in development. They have dev kits and stuff like that. I'm sure it's a pain in the ass.
hell yeah.
And mind you, I'm sure some of these studios are not big studios,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have that big of a budget. So to go from one for this to something else, it has to be difficult.
Yeah. What they're saying. I'm like, this is news to me. Game developers Rebecca Hinsman told
Fine.
Hyman,
Yeah.
okay, Hyman, okay, um, recalling their reaction when a colleague on a then forthcoming Stadia game shared a link yesterday to an article saying that the service was shutting down. Hyman, Stadia rep, later confirmed the news. She was apologizing up and down about it. Other indie developers, oh yeah, there you go, because you said some smaller companies and
Hmm.
indie developers tweeted that they were caught off guard too. Sony owned Bungie. Markers of Destiny 2 also stated yesterday that they hadn't gotten a heads up. This is all right. This is stuff like this would definitely piss me off.
Absolutely.
It would absolutely piss me off. What the hell do you mean you're shutting down your company? You knew that we was trying to make games for you. You knew it, and for you not to have the common courtesy to let these companies know, because look, they did not just think of this overnight. They didn't think like this was something that was going on for weeks and months on end. You knew that people were not playing your console. You knew that people weren't interested in partaking in just streaming games, streaming games, streaming games. You knew that. You knew that. You should have told the every single company that's making games for you, or you made some type of announcement so that they could get the heads up that, oh, you know what, let's stop spending money and stop spending our time making games, because what good is it going to do for us, and what good is it going to do for you? Because you're shutting it down. Like, oh man, like that to me, that I think that's a low blow in my opinion. But let me
I,
continue
I
reading.
agree with you there.
Between the lines, the abrupt closure of Stadia Online Store and plans for a quick wind down could cost game makers money. Though Hyman said her Stadia rep unprompt brought up the topic of reimbursement.
Okay. So pretty much what they mean there is, obviously they're reimbursing all the customers of Stadia, and hopefully Google is going to reimburse all the developers for essentially wasting their time making games for the Stadia.
They better. You're a multi-billion-dollar company. You
And
better pay
and,
these
that, and,
people
that-
back.
and that's going to cost them even more money.
No, they better pay them back.
Yeah.
It's their fault for not giving them a heads up in the first place. I don't feel sorry for them for the least bit. You should have done your job as a company to have the common courtesy to let these people be aware that you're going to be shutting down your company. Because again, you didn't think of this overnight. You didn't think this overnight. You knew that you were losing money. You knew that you could compete with Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft or PC. You knew you couldn't compete with them. I don't want to hear this BS of, oh, apologize for this, apologize for that. You knew the hell that what you were doing. Now let me see if there's anything else.
No, I would read at least read the first one.
This one here.
Yeah.
She asked me how much money did I invest in making the game. Hyman quickly tallied and five figures sum for devs cost the expected profits for what was to be the November Stadia Pro release of Luxor Evolved. She said, I'll work on that. Heisman estimated the lost revenue would have been in the six figures if Luxor Evolved wasn't planned for a release in 2023 on Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. It is unclear if Google has an across the onboard plan to reimburse developers. It's unclear. Okay, that's not good. A Stadia rep didn't reply to How you say this? How you say this properly?
Access.
Access, like regular
Axios.
access.
Axios or something like that.
Okay. Requests about that and other aspects of the shutdown. Since its launch in 2019, Stadia has paid some studios money upfront to bring their games to the service. More recently, developers have generated revenue through sales and the now shuttered Stadia store, or through payments from Google tied into playing time for games bundled into a Stadium Pro subscription. On Twitter, developer Brandon Sheffield
Yeah,
noted,
Sheffield.
noted that they had banked on making games playing time revenue from Stadia version of their Hyper. Gunsport game. But it's now unclear if the game will even be released for the platform. I mean, of course, it's not going to be released for the platform. I mean, that's a given. All right, the disappearance. This is the last one. Oh wait,
Mhm.
crap! There's more. Oh,
Uh,
you want me to read it?
let me see. Yeah, it might as well.
All right. Let me see. Where did I left off?
The disappearance.
Wait, what?
The disappearance.
Okay. The disappearance of revenue isn't the only issue. Games themselves could disappear because Stadia is a strictly digital and server-based service. That's the first. That was your first mistake. That was your first mistake. And here's the thing that I really don't understand about this company, about Google. They know that we haven't even reached the standard of playing of streaming games without having any issues, without having any frame rate issues, lag issues, connection issues. They know that it hasn't even been top notch yet. They knew that. So I don't understand why that should be even the primary if it's not even hasn't even been set as a standard. Yeah, I don't get it. Like I want to know who the hell was in charge of making that decision in the first place. I could look it up. For the sake of time, I'm not going to do it.
Oh,
But
the head guy, at least one of the head guys is Phil Harrison, and he's been at Microsoft and Sony, and they bought him in. Google bought him in to lead the charge for cloud gaming for Google.
he so he was in Microsoft and Sony,
Mm-hmm.
and yet he
And
decided to do.
ironically enough, the PlayStation console that he was responsible for was the PS3, and
Ah!
and for Xbox, I think he was there during the Xbox One days.
Oh my gosh! You
Yeah.
mean oh my goodness! That Xbox launch was a travesty.
Oh my god, he has a bad track record.
Oh, for goodness sakes, man, dude! I solely remember how people were so irate that they kept on trying to shove the freaking Connect in people's faces. I
And,
remember the freaking outrage about that. You want
and
me to spend an extra $100 because of a freaking Connect? Come on, man. Come on, man. What were you going to say?
and don't forget about the PS3 launch.
Yeah, that was devastating too. That was devastating. Okay, so that presentation issue is central to a game such as Q Games Pixel Junk Raiders, which was launched exclusively on Stadia in 2021.
Mm-mm.
Q Games CEO Dylan Colbert told Exodus, whatever, has his studio is considering its options and isn't constrained by any obligations to Google. We'd love to find a way to bring it to other platforms in the future, and as advocates of digital preservation, we hope that this is something we can achieve. We also have lots of exciting ideas for additional content and changes, so who knows what the future holds. The studio is seeking publishing partners for that effort, and I guess now we're officially done.
Yeah, they're done. They're done.
Yeah, and yeah. Now look, I mean, I didn't really. Now you know what? Since we've seen this, did you like the controller? I just want to know.
I didn't mind it. It's kind of similar to the PlayStation controller.
To me, I thought it was okay, but I figured that they could have done something better with it.
Yeah.
I thought they could have done something
The
better.
problem the
With the
problem was just the
controller.
cloud based gaming. I just can't get into cloud based gaming. I can't. Ever since I saw what my sister endured with PlayStation Now and the lagginess that was there, I'm done. I'm good.
Like bro, I remember like the constant trailers that they were showing for this game. Like I don't know if you remember this. Like I remember some of it, but they were
Mhm.
really trying to push this hardware.
Yeah.
Like because to me, when I first saw this, like okay, yeah, right here. you could clearly tell that they were trying to do the Nintendo route. Like 'cause when I saw that there was always more than one person on the screen, I always felt that, you know what, it seems like they're trying to make this like not maybe not too much of a family friendly thing, but it is online. It seems like they were trying to make it seem like maybe another version of, Xbox Live to some degree. You could tell that they were really trying to push this thing, but again, there is absolutely no way. Nobody could have known that. Hey, this is not going to work. Not everybody have a great, fantastic online service. Look at all the BS that I had to go through when it comes to online. And mine was wired.
And your thing would be a slideshow.
Exactly. How is it that you did? How is it that you could not have known? And look, and I'll be honest with you. I really do hope that one day we do have another console, because I love competition, because this will, put more pressure on Microsoft and on Sony if somebody else did decide to bring, another console into the mix. Do you remember the console called the Ouya or
Yeah.
whatever it was? Yeah, I mean they tried, it didn't work. Stadia obviously tried. Obviously, that didn't work. But I mean,
Apple's tried. It didn't work for them either.
Apple had a console.
They had something. I forgot what it was called, but it was something. It was something that you can play games. They had something where you can play games on there.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, and look, when I saw the graphics, on this game, on for this, for Stadia, I kept saying to myself, like, wow, like we really have a legit console that's going to compete with Nintendo, that's going to compete with Microsoft and Xbox. But once again, if all you're going to do is just offer streaming, you're not going to make it. And and they said this console came out with 2019.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean? You mean it couldn't last, full 3 years?
Here's the thing with Google, right? If they're not making a profit, then they're just gonna cut it off. They're just gonna cut it off. That's what they did. They did the same thing with Google Plus. They did the same thing with Google, and I use Google Plus. I like Google Plus, but they decided to kill that.
They decided to get rid of that. And I mean, look, I feel bad, for the developers also. Like, I really do feel, bad for them.
I absolutely feel bad for them.
Yeah, I definitely, feel bad for them also. Like, I do. You put all that work, you put all that money and time. Yeah, that's really, really messed up on Google's part for not informing, those people.
And here's the thing. Do you have anything else to say? I want I want to go here.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. So looking at the gameplay here, right, and looking at the game that they have,
The one that I'm showing.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Here's the thing, right? To me, in order for a someone like an Apple or a Google or any new company to try to enter this space, right? It's very difficult. It's not going to be easy because you have Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. They've all established themselves, right?
Yeah.
But if you're going to bring something new to the table, it has to be done from a software perspective. It has to be done with software, not hardware. Because they banked all their chips onto cloud gaming. That's what they bank their shit on.
Yes.
And based on that trailer that you showed me also, they tried to get they put every fucking influencer under the moon to try to convince you that this thing was hot shit.
Yes.
That's exactly what they tried to do. Right? And to me, like, the way you innovate is with your software, not your hardware. And I don't care what anyone says. If you have a bad internet connection, your game's gonna perform terribly. And that's something that to me is unacceptable. I can't speak for everyone else, but for me that's unacceptable.
Yes.
Is one thing if I'm online and the internet's not doing so great, I can understand that. But when my single player games are artifacting and they're not buffering and all the other, and they're buffering and it's buffering and stuff like that, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind. And I'm sorry, like we're not ready for cloud gaming, at least not in a sense to be the main thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Ruben said right here, Stadia should have been marketed better. Frankly, I don't think it would have mattered. I don't think it would have mattered as long
Well,
as
go
yeah,
ahead.
right?
Yeah, go ahead. No, you
No,
go. You go ahead.
okay. As long as they had the crutch of cloud gaming, I don't think it was gonna matter.
And I don't know if you saw it. Who made that comment? Because I'm
Oh,
still looking
Ruben,
at the video. Yeah,
Ruben.
Ruben. I don't know if you saw, the last video that I showed. Like they really pushed that console. They really tried to push it. Like they really tried to make it, a good, decent, console where they're able to compete, with the other guys, with the other top guys. But I just think that with the for it being exclusively, for cloud gaming, people just dismissed it. People are not interested in just playing, cloud gaming. You alienating all the people who just wants a regular offline single player experience, and that's what I care about the most. As great as online is, I also care about, single player content. I want single player content. I don't want to have to
No, no,
constantly be forced
no,
to play offline.
it has single player content. The problem is that if your connection's bad, you're everything's bad.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. You don't have the option to play offline.
No, you
You
don't.
don't. You don't have the option to play offline. If you don't have an internet connection, you have no games to play. Absolutely no games. So what is good as your console if I can't even have the option to play offline? I don't want nothing. I don't want a device like that in my house. I'm not buying that. And as good as the games probably as good as the games look, and how it seemed like, yes, they probably will be able to compete with Microsoft and Sony. I just don't want to deal with that. I don't buy these consoles. I don't buy games to make it to inconvenience my life, to be an inconvenience. That's not what I buy these games for. That's not what I bought a console for. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't buy these consoles to be irritated by them. And if I have to play a game where it's constantly lagging or I'm constantly losing connection, I have no interest or desire to play you. I don't.
Let me also mention this, right? Because Nintendo, every company like Sony, Microsoft, especially Microsoft, and Nintendo are dabbing or kind of dabbing into the whole cloud gaming thing. On Nintendo, you can play Skyrim on Nintendo, but it's through cloud gaming. Same thing with I think one of the Resident Evil games. You can play it through cloud
Yes.
gaming.
Yes.
They're charging you full price for an experience that may not be good all the time. To me, I just don't think the technology is ready for it. But at least in their case, at least it's an option, not the main thing. With this thing, it was the main thing. It was the main attraction,
Yeah, that was the
and
primary.
and,
Yes.
and, and it failed. And I knew it was gonna fail. That's why I never invested in it. I knew it was gonna fail. And ultimately, if it's not doing anything better than what my consoles are doing now, and you're not offering something that's unique, then I'm not interested. I'm
You
not
know,
interested.
it's funny that you mentioned, something unique, because I've said to myself, with not Nintendo, with Sony and Microsoft, with their consoles that they currently have, I don't think people will be interested, even if you had the option to play offline. What How am I going to get a much better experience with your console opposed to what I already have right now? Unless your console is different, like how Nintendo is marketing their console, how it's being different from the other two. Unless you're going to make something completely different, where it outshines the other competition,
Yeah.
then yeah, sure. But if it's just going to be another traditional console, it's not really going to last long. And that's why a lot of people said, and I think even Seafrink said this, and I think you said this too. That's why Sega is no longer going to make a console anymore. Even if they decide to have the money, if they had the money for it, I mean, they're just going to continue, making games. What I believe is that the only way for another console to come in and compete with the top three or top four, if you want to consider PC, it has to be something completely different. It has to be something completely different. Either brand new IPs, new software, new games that will have a complete different experience than and they have to be exclusive. Obviously, they have to be exclusive.
But exclusive is a bad word nowadays.
Well,
Can't have
well,
exclusive.
well. No. What I'm saying is, if a new console is going to come in, they have to have exclusive games.
Well,
You
I
need to
was
have
told I
exclusive
was told
games.
that exclusives are bad. I was told that exclusives are bad.
Yeah, I
So,
remember you had that argument. Oh, did you have anything else to read on your article before we leave?
well, yeah. Let me read the other half of what's going on, and it kind of gets into what you were saying, right? Now, Phil Harrison, the guy we mentioned before,
Yeah, I
in a
can't see it.
Q&A. Oh, my bad. Let me share.
Hmm.
All right. So Phil Harrison, this is the article. Bethesda acquisition by Microsoft factored into Stadia Studios shutdown. Google Stadia's Phil Harrison reportedly states that Microsoft acquisition of Bethesda played a role in shutting down Stadia Studios. Google's announcement. Oh, actually, I read this already. This past Thursday, Google Stadia GM Phil Harrison did a Q&A with Stadia staff regarding the decision to shut down Stadia game development teams. Kotaku has reported on some of Harrison's responses, while Harrison was said to be very coy regarding the reason for the decision. One specific thing he mentioned was Microsoft's ongoing acquisition of ZeniMax Media, which includes Bethesda, ID Software, Machine Games, and other subsidiaries. Right, and we're not even talking about Activision; we're talking about Bethesda,
Hmm.
and ZeniMax, right? So, okay, how Microsoft Bethesda acquisition factored into Stadia's game development efforts wasn't explained. It seems all Harrison is reported to have said is that Microsoft acquisition of Bethesda and its ongoing buying spree of other studios was a factor in Stadia's decision. Kotaku does not provide any further context of Harrison's response. It doesn't even provide a direct quote. Yet, if Harrison was willing to say it, it must have been important. Okay, a key detail to acknowledge is that Microsoft xCloud gaming streaming service is perhaps Google's biggest competitor for Google Stadia. While Google Stadia wasn't ex-
Explicit.
explicitly creating games to offer a competitive selection of exclusives, is almost certainly a factor. After all, Microsoft has a diverse range of platform exclusive games that will be available on Nextcloud, making it a much more attractive to potential cloud gaming subscribers. Okay, as far as Microsoft acquisitions played into the competition between the companies, one can only guess. Perhaps Google was also pursuing the ZeniMax Media Bethesda acquisition, and missing out severely impacted its plans for first-party game development. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, if that was the case. That Google was outbid by Microsoft in buying Bethesda. Because
And
go ahead.
yeah, no, you go ahead.
Like, if you imagine if Google had bought Bethesda, right? And then they're like, okay, we're bringing Doom and all their other games and all their Bethesda game Fallout, bringing all those games to Google
Hmm.
Stadia day one.
Hmm.
That's a huge coup. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That would have been a big deal. I don't know if that would have saved them, but that definitely would have been a bigger step in that direction.
Well, you see now that you mention it, clearly they knew. This is what I just said a few minutes ago. They knew that exclusive was important. They knew it. What in the world would you have to offer your fan? Would you have to offer people for them to entice to buy your console, to spend money to buy your console? You need the exclusive first. You need the software first. You need the IP first. That's what you need. That was the hidden recipe or the primary recipe that you need in order for your console to be successful. But if they were outbid, well, from Microsoft, they should have probably tried to pursue somebody else.
Who are they gonna get? Like Activision? You know what I mean? Like man, I don't know, man.
Hmm.
I don't know. But okay, so Bethesda acquisition made Google believe it couldn't compete based on exclusive games, or perhaps Google believed getting Bethesda itself was the only way to bring its in-house game development to the level of success we're supporting. Whatever the reason, Google has already pulled the plug on the Stadia game development teams. There's no reversing course now, and what that decision means for the future of Google Stadia and cloud gaming in general remains to be seen. But at the very least, there are now hundreds of former Stadia developers with uncertain futures who believe Google and Stadia would be there for them. The entire situation is unfortunate. Yeah, I think that's it there.
I mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
even if that's the case, whatever games that you were trying to develop, just make them for the other consoles. What's the problem?
It's not that easy. It's not, based on what I've heard, it's not that easy.
I
Like
mean,
just bringing one game over. Because remember, they have to pay a fee to port games over to different platforms. That's why you have some certain like third party games, like especially like indie third party games. They'll pick one platform so that they don't have to pay the fee for multiple platforms, right? If they can only afford it to put it on one platform, and they feel like the money's gonna be made on that platform, they'll choose that platform.
they're just only one platform.
Yeah,
Hmm. Okay, so it's going to cost them money to transition to a different console.
yeah. If they can't afford it, and let's say if a company like Sony is interested in your game, they offer you a deal. Like, okay, all right, we'll keep it exclusive for here for like set so amount of time.
Hmm.
So,
I mean, look, do I feel bad for them? Yeah, I feel bad for them, but as although I feel bad for all the developers, all these studios that was making games for the Stadia, uh, I also want to say this also. As much as I feel bad for you, to somewhat you should have known better. You should have known better. Like you should have known that that Stadia was not going to last very long. Now, if you were already on the process of making games, for the console, then go ahead. I don't blame you for not for wanting to finish it. But come on, man. Like if I was a studio and I had, let's say, if I had owned a studio myself, I would be iffy making a game, for Stadia, as opposed to making a game, for Nintendo or Microsoft or Sony.
I
You know what I'm
mean,
saying?
if they're paying you money, do you really care?
Well, I don't think money was being given. If money was being given, why is there reimbursement?
I mean, if you're promised money, if you're promised
Oh,
money,
okay. Then
yeah.
yeah, then that's different. Yeah.
To me, like, and what the Microsoft thing, because Microsoft looks at Google as a competitor. Absolutely, they look at Google as a competitor. They
Hmm.
look at Apple as a competitor. They look at all these companies as competitors. So they're going to try everything in their power to try to buy up shit, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Everything that they're doing, like, is all catered to not only supporting what they're doing with Game Pass, but also this thing that they have with xCloud, and they're trying to have their Microsoft trying to have their hands in all the gaming platforms out there.
Yeah.
Not necessarily take it over, but when you buying these studios, when you're buying these major studios, that's exactly what a lot of people are gonna think you're doing. And whether or not Mike, like, look, at the end of the day, like, Google Stadia was gonna fail regardless.
Well, here's. Oh, go ahead. Wait, we're gonna say something else.
Yeah, like they were gonna fail regardless. So I'm not blaming Microsoft for their failure, because a lot of these idiotic Xbox fanboys blame Sony for Sega's failures without doing their knowledge, without knowing what the hell they're talking about,
Hmm.
right? I'm not going to do the same thing with Microsoft and Google Stadia. But I'll tell you this: whatever Microsoft did, far more harmful to Google than anything Sony did to Sega.
I
Far
agree.
more. Because at the end of the day, you're I'm sure that Google wanted to bring Bethesda games over to their platform. I'm sure they did. And then once Microsoft bought them, and listen, Microsoft and Google, they're competitors.
Yeah.
So they're Google gonna have to go to Microsoft and be like, hey, can you bring some of your games to our platform? It's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's not. I don't think that's something that Google will want to do. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and this is what I wanted to show real quick. Because this was well, I'm pretty sure you already knew this, but this was their absolute marketing. I don't want to use the word ploy, but this is what their main strategy was. Can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so all right, let me play this real quick. I mean, look, the games, they look fine. It looks like the games, would be interesting, and I do like their marketing, but this is right here.
Yeah.
TV, play on your laptop, play on your phone, play on your computer monitor. That was the bread and butter.
But you know who else? And you know who else wants to do the same thing?
I believe Microsoft, right?
Absolutely,
Yes. See,
absolutely.
right here, and trust me, I actually like the fact that they tried to make the console more of a convenience opposed to other consoles.
Yeah,
Like I get it, and I thought that was a very um a unique strategy for them to say, hey, you know what? We're completely different from all these other consoles because well, we can provide for you guys that you could play anywhere you want. So maybe to some degree you could even play it on the go. You could probably play. You could probably play
yeah,
on the go if you could play on your phone.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But again, as much as cool that I believe that would have been, the fact that I had to deal with lag issues because of my Wi-Fi is probably not connecting or if it's disconnecting. I don't want to go through that.
Yeah.
As amazing as it is to play this on your tablet, on your phone, on your TV, on your computer, as great as that is, and you could put it on multiple devices. My brother could probably play. You could play. With your family or whatever. I don't know all the ins and outs of how that works. But again, if I can't even enjoy the game in itself because of connection issues, I don't care what features that you have to offer me. I don't. I don't. And I'm sorry, but as great as I would love to see more competition, to have multiple consoles in my house, I'm not dealing with lagging issues when it comes to cloud gaming. That's why I'm not interested in. That's why I'm not interested in cloud gaming as of now. I'm not. I still rather could stick to my single player, and playing offline every time whenever I like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. That I have to say. I mean, I did like the strategy. I thought that was really cool. Once again, I thought it was very neat that you could play on multiple devices. But like you said, Microsoft is trying to do that even now
Yeah.
with Xbox Game Pass. So with Stadia, I'm going to give them credit. They tried to beat them on the ball first. They tried to be ahead of the game, which I'll give them
I
credit
mean, they
for.
were they were ahead of the game, but sometimes being ahead of the game is a detriment.
You mean
Sometimes, yeah, go ahead.
you mean they were too ahead of its time?
You can
Is that
say
what you
that.
mean?
I
Okay.
you can say that, but they also didn't have a fallback plan.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have a fallback plan, and that's what Microsoft has that with xCloud and with Game Pass and Xbox and all the other shit. Like they have a fallback plan. Google didn't.
Yeah.
So let me read your comment, and then we can get out of here. Ruben said the Edge should have been able to be mobile, and
What do you mean? What do you mean by the edge? Do you know what he means by that?
probably talking about a phone or something. Maybe I don't know. But Nolan said I experienced the lag. It was never horrible for me. Okay,
Oh
but
no. Okay. But here's the thing, though. Nolan. Here's the thing. If you are going to offer me now, look, I could understand. and I want to say this one last thing, because we're approaching 3 hours. I want to say this, and I hope you understand this. If you are going to offer me a brand new console where cloud gaming is the primary, and I don't have any option to go offline, then all the cloud games that I'm playing I want to have the exact same experience as if I was playing offline. It has to be the same. Now you said you was dealing with lag issues and it wasn't horrible for you. I don't want to deal with lag issues at all. I didn't buy $60 games, $70 games to have lag issues. That's unacceptable to me. I want my games to work all the time, not sometimes. Not sometimes. I want it to play all the time. And I want to have the exact same experience, whether if I'm playing online or not. That's the thing, Nolan. And trust me, I hear what you're saying, but I don't want to deal with any lag issues whatsoever.
All right. So Ruben said that Edge for the Stadia it is what it specializes in, and conspiracy agent said that with cloud gaming you don't own the game.
Oh, that's the other thing. I've
Once
always
the
said that
servers are
too.
down, the game's unplayable. That's why they're reversing everybody their money, because they don't own the rights to the game. Everything is through the cloud. And imagine if you wanted to play the game, you still even all these years later, you can't do it because everything's cloud based.
That's why I never like cloud gaming in the first place, because you don't have the power nor the option to choose if you to play the game anytime you want. That's why that's one of the main reasons why every time I buy a console, I keep that console. I have all the consoles that I bought in the past. I have them because there's going to be a time where I want to go back and play old games, and you don't have this. And we had this debate. I don't know if you remember. We
Mm-hmm.
had this debate where you don't have access to games the way you have access to movies and music. You don't. You don't have that same type of access. So because of that, I decided, yeah, I'm going to keep all the consoles that I have, and I don't want to deal, with cloud gaming BS. I don't. I don't. If I'm going to invest money on a new console, I don't want to deal with lag issues. I'm sorry, I don't. And I'm pretty sure anybody would say, "Oh, well, that's a consensus." Who the hell want to deal with lag issues and frame rate issues because it's exclusively to cloud gaming? I'm not, sorry, Stadia, you tried, but that strategy was not going to work.
No, it was just I knew it wasn't gonna work, so that's why I didn't bother. So
Yeah, that's why I didn't bother either. Like I didn't bother, trying to at least give it a chance, because I remember you were the one when we talked about it over the phone. When I asked you, "Are you interested in the Stadia?" You were like, "Oh, f no." You were like, "Hell no, you're not interested in that console." And when you told me that it was only for cloud gaming, I immediately said, "You know what? I'm not even interested in doing research on this thing."
yeah.
So, I mean, again, it was very neat of what strategy that they wanted to use, but if I don't own the game, and if the game is, I don't, yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't even own the game, and yet the game is not at top peak performance. No.
All right. So on that note, it's time to get out of here. I need to go sleep.
Yeah.
I want to shout out conspiracy agent Ruben. Let's scroll up here. Nolan, thank you for watching. F, thank you for watching. Ryan Meadows, thank you for watching. Critical Drop, thank you for watching. Brendan, thank you for watching. McKinley, Ed Gonzalez, thank you for watching. Rizmai,
Aladdin.
thank you for
You
watching.
skipped Aladdin.
No, I said it. I said Brendan.
Oh, you said Brandon. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Rosemai, thank you for watching. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, man. Like it's a, I didn't think it was a long episode, but everything just feels like everything feels longer now since I haven't slept in like 20 hours. So I'm
I
gonna.
mean, yeah, it was three topics, and we were actually able to cut it, to probably the 2 hours, but we kind of got a little sidetracked with the Pride episode. Um, but hey, I had fun. what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna really try to push myself to head to the gym real quick and work out, at least for an hour before I go to bed. And obviously the rest of the week I'm going to be reading these, and I'm gonna let you know how the where is it?
Yeah, let me know how the Tekken books are.
Yeah. Like the Tekken books. Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep you updated, with that. Once again, I'm ashamed of myself that I didn't buy these books beforehand. But I know for a fact I am going to absolutely enjoy these because they're gonna the comics all like with the Street Fighter, the comics always go to huge depth in the backstory with each of the characters. So I'm definitely interested in that. So yeah, I'll let you I'll let you know how the story is, and
All
I'll share some screenshots like I did with Street Fighter also.
right, so just a couple more comments, then we can go. Conspiracy agent said, "Thank you, who being traditionalists, everyone for watching." No, thank you guys, man. Because if it wasn't for you guys, it would, we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. Thank you guys so much. Ruben said, "What gym are you going to, Steve?"
Yeah, I go to Planet Fitness. I do go to UFit, from time to time because they have more of variety, of equipment. But with Planet Fitness, since I work there as a side gig, as my second job, I might as well, just go there most of the time, since it's free. You know what I'm saying? Like it's free, so I might as well go there. And Conspiracy Agent, yeah, I do appreciate you, coming in and watching us and participating. It's always a huge honor that you guys participate, in the chat, giving your different opinions and different perspectives, and I love that. And which is why I'm still looking forward for next week and doing more podcasts with my friend over here. And we're gonna have guests, and I'm looking forward for all the future episodes that we're going to do. So with all that being said, oh, you have another comment.
Yeah, he's asking you a question.
Which one? Cali Club? I'm not really sure, where that is, but I usually go to the one by University in Davie. That's the one that I always go to because that's where I work. So I typically just go there. If not, I just go to UFit, which is in Sterling, by I-95, which is UFit. Um, oh, Ruben has another one. I was watching this episode at James in Sample, so I'll meet you there. Oh, he was watching. Oh, he was watching it with James. Big James. Yeah, what's going on, man? But anyway, yeah. It's getting late. I'm gonna try to push myself to head to the gym. I'll let you know. This is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. Have a good one.
Who 186? I am off to bed. Bye, you guys.